My boyfriend's family claimed I ruined him, and now they're against me.
Well, what can you do?
My boyfriend, 22 male, and I, 22 female, have been together for over 3 years. We live together and have a really strong, loving relationship. He is my best friend and genuinely one of the kindest, most thoughtful people I've ever met. But his family has always been intense. By the way, this comes from HTTPS error, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Angie.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let's know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, over time, I've realized they're controlling, very religious, Catholic, and guilt-driven. They expect everyone to live and believe exactly how they do, and they react really badly when someone doesn't. At first, it was small stuff, comments about us living together. That's not right. You should hurry up and get married. You need to be right with God. And constantly guilting him if he didn't come to Sunday lunch. They act like they're open and loving, but if you disagree with them, you're treated like a problem. My boyfriend is also working under his dad to take over the family business. But there's been a lot of issues with that over the past few years because his dad has become unreliable and recently told him he would never own the business, despite saying he would ever since we've gotten together. I was a huge reason that my boyfriend even began wanting to take it over in the first place. I have always tried to be close with them, but have always felt underlying dislike since the start, especially by his sister. On our first day of knowing each other, her first words in front of me were to my boyfriend, saying that for a second she thought he had brought their grandma over.
Wait a second. What? Are they calling OP a grandma?
Yeah, the first words in front of OP were directed at OP's boyfriend, going, I really thought you brought grandma over for a second.
Oh my gosh.
She's also made snide comments about me based on what she assumed were my political views. Additionally, she has always unincluded me when it comes to her 20 female and my boyfriend's brother's girlfriend 23 female. She has been around for double the time I have, and when I started noticing being blatantly left out, usually talking about how much we all loved thrifting and uptown cheapskate, and then them making plans in front of me to go and not inviting me, despite me starting that conversation, it was really hard to not start comparing myself. Another layer to this is that my boyfriend has always struggled with setting boundaries with his parents. For a while, and this was something he admitted to me later, and I didn't know it was happening at the time, whenever he would set a boundary, he would say it was me that was upset, not the both of us, even if it was just him who was upset about something. Girl, he set you up to fail.
Yeah.
That's setting you up to fail.
That's such a bad boyfriend move. What the heck?
Bad boyfriend move. He also has a tendency to have lunch with his parents and then come back a completely different person because they spend the whole lunch trying to convince him of something or to have a certain opinion. Also, real fast.
Good.
Make sure the mouse is off of it. It'll pick it up.
Oh, really?
The editor's got that out.
Dang.
He has since started therapy throughout this and has gotten a lot better, but it's still just another cause of this mess. After a lot of pressure and guilt from them, my boyfriend finally decided to have a calm, honest conversation with his parents about the boundaries and how they've been making him feel. I went with him because some of the issues involved me too, like being excluded from communication and being blamed for decisions we made together. The main reason I was there was because he asked me to be there for moral support, but wanted me to speak minimally.
I'm sorry. I want you to be here so you can just support me, but quietly.
Even though
Don't
this
say
is
a
about
word.
your concern.
Yeah, what?
Weird. The conversation started okay, but turned awful. The conversation started okay, but quickly turned awful. His dad became defensive and basically said he didn't have to respect our opinions if we didn't share his beliefs. He openly compared me to his brother's girlfriend, and even if my boyfriend was the one expressing himself, both his parents would respond and get mad at me. When I suggested there be a more efficient way of communication about family events, it's a lot to explain, but just trust. His dad said the world didn't revolve around me and I needed to get over it because he wasn't going to call me to tell me updates about things or send things into the family group chat or talk about them at lunch.
You just gotta get over it. I'm not gonna talk to you at all or
Right.
communicate like whatsoever.
Weird.
So just deal with it.
A couple of weeks later, he called me directly after my boyfriend said he wouldn't go back over to Sunday lunch until his dad apologized to me for getting specifically heated with me, and that also went terribly. He yelled at me, accused me of holding his son back, called me names, a snowflake, and told me to grow up. That was the breaking point. My boyfriend decided to take space from them for a while. I met with his mom, one-on-one, afterward to clear the air, and she acted like she understood. She said she wanted to make things better and even asked me how to best resolve things. We had a very long, seemingly productive conversation about how we both missed each other and wanted things to go back to normal, and why my boyfriend and I have both been hurt and how she's been hurt. She asked me how to get through to her son, and I explained to her how he was feeling and how to get him to be receptive to her attempts to reach out, genuinely just acknowledging his feelings and making it clear that they wanted to resolve things. And she agreed with me. She said she would, and then never did. Then, when my boyfriend called her asking why, she claimed we never spoke of anything like that. Weeks went by, and things only got worse. His dad started withholding money he owed my boyfriend for work, and when my boyfriend asked about it, his dad got defensive again and said he didn't remember agreeing to pay him. He eventually paid him what was owed until that point, and then demoted his pay from now onward, since my boyfriend told his dad he was looking for a new job when summer starts. Every conversation turned into gaslighting. Then his sister texted him out of nowhere, basically telling him to get over himself, that he and I were being dramatic, and that he needed to grow up. That's when we realized his parents had been spreading their version of the story around to all the siblings. His dad even talked to my boyfriend's brother, who then told one of my boyfriend's friends about it and got him involved. So my boyfriend decided to send a calm, factual group message to his siblings explaining everything. The religious pressure, the disrespect, his dad yelling at me, and why he needed space. He was polite, but honest. Their reaction was brutal. They said he needed to get his crap together, that I had changed him, and that I was basically molding him into someone else. His sister said I was insecure, that I've been jealous of the other brother's girlfriend from the start, that my boyfriend used to be fun and carefree, and now she doesn't even recognize him. She then proceeded to compare me to said brother's girlfriend, saying that she brings him closer to the family and I take my boyfriend away from them. She said he wasn't himself anymore and he wasn't taking over the business, as if I was manipulating him not to, when I was the one who encouraged him to in the first place. They said the only solution was for him to start going back to Sunday lunch without me for a couple of weeks to feel it out, that I could come later when I was ready. I can't even describe how much that hurt. They've twisted the story to make me the villain, and even though my boyfriend defended me and said it wasn't true, he also said that eventually he wants to go back to those lunches. He said maybe over time they'll come around to liking me again. But I feel like I can never go back there, not after being screamed at, lied about, and blamed for everything. But by the way, I'll never blame you for listening to full episodes with stories just like this. We've got... No. I don't like that. Do you like that one?
Yeah.
But by the way, I'll never blame you for listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts, and search up OK Storytime. We've got just a little bit more. Big sigh.
Yeah, it's complicated because like I get how OP is feeling.
100%.
Like, yeah, these people were terrible to me. I don't want to be around them.
And like still excluding her when that was her
Yeah.
biggest thing of like, I feel really left out.
Right, like that's all she wanted. But like, I also understand the boyfriend's idea of like, well, I mean, hopefully over time this can be fixed. And like, it's hard because like I wouldn't be mad at the boyfriend for that at all. Like I think that's very understandable for him to want too. But it's hard because it's neither of them have control over that.
Right. I think I'd be mad if it was like he hadn't tried and he hadn't talked to them about things.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're just not getting through to him. And it's,
Yeah, because he did tell them.
yeah. It's one of those things where it's like you can't make him cut them off. So this
Right.
is the solution. Like
Yeah.
it is just he's going to maintain contact and you're just kind of not. Unless you're
Yeah.
not wanting to stay in that relationship.
Yeah, it's like you unfortunately don't have that many options. So
Right.
like you can give it a shot if you would like to.
Right,
Because
you
if
can-
you don't, then it's like, well, you've made your decision. Which I mean, maybe
Which
you
is a
have.
fine decision.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. You just that still might cause problems in
Right.
the relationship then. Like it's unfortunately there's not a lot of options.
Yeah. I'm not sure they're coming around either.
Yeah.
Got a little bit left. Now I'm stuck in this unbearable place. I love him so much, and he's not the one hurting me. His family is. But I don't know how I can build a life with someone whose entire family sees me as manipulative and controlling. And I can't imagine pretending to be bubbly and friendly at Sunday lunch with people who hate me. I don't want to give him an ultimatum, but I feel like I can't handle this anymore. I'm exhausted, I cry constantly, and I feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm terrified that they are right about me and that I've been unknowingly this way. What do you even do when you adore someone but their family has decided you're the villain in their story? And we have some comments. Commenter 1, your man is an absolute coward, and he has no intention of ever putting you first. Even now, he wants their approval. If he can't live without them, then he can't live without you. If he can't live without them, then he can't live with you. Find a real man. Someone replies, your partner is in a tough spot. I hope he continues on his own path and stays away from their religious pressuring and bullying. But he's telling you he wants to go back to the frequent lunches with his bullies. He is the one who put all the blame on you at first and endangered your relationship with his family. I did totally forget that he was the one that was like lying and saying OP wasn't okay with things.
I forgot about that too.
I forgot about that.
I fear that's maybe where our issue begins.
I think it really does.
Yeah.
So, like, 'cause I'm torn, because it did seem like he tried a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like he could still continue to try and show you that he's stepping up.
Sure.
I'm still on the front, though, that, like, ultimately, if he goes back to that relationship with his parents,
Yeah.
even if they are bullying him,
Yeah.
that is his choice. It is his family.
Yeah.
And over time, maybe he will realize what they've done to you and that you are someone that he really loves. And then
Yeah.
he will distance himself again.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe it's important to look at everything that he's doing and what he's contributing to the situation and see if that's someone that you want to be around too. Because like if it's not just them that were like obviously, you know, he was trying to help later, but if he initially kind of started some problems, then
Right.
like maybe he's not someone that you want around, and then
Yeah.
maybe in that distance that you guys have from each other, he will start to realize he was in the wrong. But yeah, it's just
Tough.
yeah, it's tough.
He was weak and didn't care to look out for you. His family sounds like self-righteous religious a-holes. Is that who you'd want for your kid's grandparents? He needs to go no contact with them and continue therapy to heal from those relationships. If he won't, you need to make a choice of what you allow in your life, and that is the end of that story. And I
Wow.
agree.
Yeah, totally. You can decide now.
Yes. It
Yeah.
is your turn.
It is your turn. Yeah, you can't change what they're doing, but you can change who you choose to be around.
Yeah.
And sometimes that, you know, comes with sacrifice. You don't want to leave people or lose people, but sometimes it's necessary if they're treating you like this.
Indeed.
But we've got another story coming right up. My friend's girlfriend keeps touching my husband, so I confronted her.
Stay away from my husband.
Some background. Myself, 32 female, and my husband, 33 male, have been together since 2017, married since 2022. Him and his best friend, 30 male, we'll call him Kevin, have been close since 2016. He was the best man at our wedding. By the way, this comes from Deleted, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit, and I'm Angie.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in this situation. Let us know what you would do down below. So OP says, we've always gotten along well, but don't have our own friendship. I don't see a reason to speak with Kevin outside of when we all spend time together. One of our other friends, 30 female, has been friends with all of us since the beginning too. She introduced me to my husband, actually. They're good friends to this day. Kevin has a baby with his girlfriend, 34 female. Together, we make up a 5-person friend group. We have game nights and go out to do fun stuff, beach days, get together and such. Kevin's current girlfriend is kind of an outlier, since the 4 of us have been friends for so long and she is more new to the group. I've never had an issue with her until recently. To start things off, my husband has never given me a reason to not trust him. Lie. This isn't about that. It's about not trusting her or feeling like she's disrespected boundaries. It started small, like she would be... Can't say breastfeeding, probably, huh? Because the breast.
Oh,
I feel like it always stops feeding.
Feeding.
Okay, yeah.
Naturally feeding.
Yeah. It started small, like she would be naturally feeding her baby in front of us, not an issue at all, but would repeatedly bring attention to the fact that her front airbag was out. That rubbed me the wrong way. She kept saying, "I'm so sorry, my biddy is out."
If you're that worried about it, go somewhere else to do it then.
Yeah,
like, no
right?
one here cares.
It's okay, girl. And I'd catch myself noticing, like, if you are, why do you... And I'd catch myself noticing, like, if you are sorry, why do you continue calling attention to it rather than fixing it if you think it's something that you need to apologize for? Another time, she was wearing a dress and was sitting on the floor near my husband. I don't remember what we were all talking about, but she brought her leg up, pointed her toes towards my husband, and laughed more than once. That was weird. I didn't say anything, but I remember feeling like it's not appropriate. I'm always mindful when I wear dresses. I definitely wouldn't lift up one of my legs while sitting on the floor and point it towards a man that isn't my significant other. She's made comments to my husband like, "I'm going to call you once a week to talk about Kevin since you're his best friend." That is weird.
I hate that.
That's very weird. That time, I did speak up and said, "No, you're not. Get a therapist." And we all laughed it off. Yeah. Do it, though. Yeah, I'm guessing that was, like, in a context of, like, saying something about
Yeah.
Kevin being annoying or
I'm
something like that.
sure.
That's so weird. Then she kept doing stuff like saying to my husband, "Maybe we can be workout buddies." Hello?
Nope, no one there.
Is it just the wind?
Pressure downstairs. I think.
All right. Then she kept doing stuff like saying to my husband, "Maybe we can be workout buddies," when he's expressed that he's wanting to get back into the gym soon. Then she backtracked and said, not like in person, just like text each other so that we can be accountable. You didn't say anything, neither did I. They're not friends. Neither of us have a relationship with her outside of the 5 of us all spending time together. Her and I don't text or talk. She's never made an effort to befriend me outside of the group, so it seemed weird to me that she was seemingly wanting to initiate contact with or have a friendship with my husband outside of the friend group. Side note, I let this stuff build up because I couldn't let myself think that this was happening again with one of Kevin's girlfriends. Years ago, the woman he was with, not his current girlfriend, also seemed to seek my husband's attention when we were all together and disrespected boundaries.
Just say it. Just say it. How hot's your husband?
Yeah, honestly.
How hot is he?
Tell us
Just
how hot he
us.
is.
Brag a little.
Come on. I let things build up and finally talked to my husband about it, who validated how I was feeling and said that he had noticed a few instances where it got uncomfortable because of her actions. We didn't really hang with them much afterwards, and she and Kevin broke up not long after. She ended up making amends to me years later for her behavior. I didn't ask her to do that. We had never talked to them about the situation. She felt the need to do that on her own. Kevin still doesn't know about any of it. I feel like that situation makes me hypervigilant to this sort of thing. Anyway, I didn't say anything for a while because what are the odds that this would be a thing again? Kevin doesn't treat his girlfriends well at all, while my husband is extremely affectionate, doting, and respectful. Maybe that has something to do with it. I talked to my husband about it finally, and he was supportive. He said he hasn't noticed anything, but that doesn't mean my feelings are invalid. He said that women are more perceptive than men, can see and pick up on things differently. He said he supports me and is aware of how I'm feeling now, and that he won't hesitate to say something or support me saying something if she does anything that crosses the line. Shortly after that convo was when she made the workout buddy comment. We both agreed afterwards that it was a weird thing to say. I kept trying to let it go, but we all hung out again recently and I couldn't enjoy myself. I was so angry and on guard about her past behavior and if she would try anything again. Within a few minutes of us all being together, Kevin mentioned my husband's hands were cold. We were golfing and Kevin gave him his gloves. We're hearing yelling from downstairs.
They're yelling about the ghost.
Oh
They're yelling about the ghost.
Kevin's girlfriend then decided that it was okay to touch my husband's forearm repeatedly. Literally poked it 10 plus times while smiling and saying, "Oh yeah, it is cold."
So
What?
he's muscular too.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, right?
I'm just kidding. I'm trying to make jokes because this story is severely frustrating.
I think that, listen, good advice, Goofy. That's what we're here for. But, yeah, no, that's definitely, it's so weird because it's hard with things like this because it's like they're so small. So sometimes bringing it up in the moment. Exactly. It's like they add up. So it's like, okay, girl, like we know what's going on.
It's always scary too because then I feel like most of the time when you hit that breaking point of them just doing like something, it's like always this tiny little thing, but it's just added up and that's where you lose it.
Yeah.
And then everyone looks at you like
that was so small, you're overreacting.
And it's like, but you don't understand.
No, it's like, it's all of this adding up. Like, that's what's so hard with things like this.
I had someone look into my boyfriend at the time's eyes and say that all she had to do to feel better was gaze into his eyes for a little while.
That's insane. That's insane. You do not say that to friends. You say that to lovers. That's crazy, dude. Crazy.
And that was like the end of like months of stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
And I said nothing. I held my tongue.
Wow. Good for
I don't
you,
support
dude.
that. OP, call this girl out.
Call her out, please.
I regret it.
While she was doing this, my husband immediately reached out and grabbed my hand, which told me he understood that the excessive touching wasn't necessarily appropriate.
Oh, A+.
A+. I didn't say anything. I didn't trust myself to say something in a respectful way in that moment.
Fair.
I just smiled at him and brushed it off. Later, she was taking pictures of him holding her baby, which rubbed me the wrong way because, again, has she ever done that with me? No. By the end of the night, I spoke with my husband again. I was livid at having felt disrespected again by her. He told me that he didn't realize how angry I actually was and that my anger might be compounded by the fact that I've let all of this build up and haven't talked to her. He said that he would support that conversation and what comes after, that it's okay for me to remind her in that conversation that she and my husband are not friends, and that he would be understanding if I said I didn't want her around with him without me there. Yeah, whatever. I'm not proud of my behavior that night, and in our relationship, we've never set limits on one another's lives or actions. We haven't had to. I think I was just extremely triggered by the situation. It was the worst feeling. I haven't felt it in a really long time.
I will interject to say that I don't think that that's like a controlling boundary to just be like, don't hang out with her one-on-one, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's you being like, hey, I'm really uncomfortable with her in a group setting already. It seems kind of obvious he wouldn't hang out with her alone.
Yeah, also, like, he brought it up. It says he would be understanding if I said I didn't want her around him without me there. That's,
okay, so not one-on-one, but OP can't go to the group hangs. She still doesn't want him to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
but
if he's bringing it up,
that
though,
was, yeah, he brought that up. Like, that was his idea.
Your husband sounds so nice.
I know.
Aw.
Like, yeah, I think it's all about like how you bring it up though too. Like
Yeah.
if she just straight out said like you're not allowed to do this, then
Right.
like obviously that's
But if
controlling.
it's like, hey, here's how I've been feeling, and he's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, then what? How do you feel about me saying like I won't hang out
yeah.
without you?
Yeah, because it's like it's not even just like in this specific situation, it's not like, oh, it's just like some
Right.
random thing. It's like, well, no, this happens when she's around, and if like me talking to her doesn't help, then like that's kind of all that we have to do is
Right.
to make her stop. Is
Can't
just not be
imagine
around
how
her.
much worse
Yeah.
if he's not around.
Yeah, right.
And I'm sure your husband would tell you, but still, you don't enjoy hearing about that. Like, you
Exactly.
don't want it to happen still.
Right, right. Fast forward a few days later, I called Kevin's girlfriend. I figured I would open that line of communication, be a grown up, use my voice, and say how I feel. I was completely respectful, gave specific examples, not all of the ones mentioned above, just 2, and told her that I wanted to understand where she was coming from. I let her know that I love them, want to be a part of their lives, want us all to continue hanging out as a friend group, and want to get on the same page and set some boundaries so that this won't continue building. She seemed receptive, apologized, and said that she doesn't realize how the things she says comes off sometimes.
Okay.
She said she doesn't really have friends, let alone heterosexual male friends, and that she doesn't get out much because she's always with her and Kevin's baby. I heard her out and told her that I never assume her intentions are bad. It seemed like the convo ended well. We said that we're happy to have the line of communication open between us more. Let me say that again. We said we're happy to have the line of communication open between us more so now. Then yesterday happened. What?
I was about to, because I was gonna be like, listen, totally valid.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just don't realize, and
Sure.
it's not out of a place of hurt.
Yeah.
Or like trying to hurt you. But
Right.
like, then if they know, they have to be self-aware enough to fix it.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like this is happening that way.
Apparently not. I mean, that conversation went so well. But oh boy.
No.
Then yesterday happened. My husband and I went to a friend's and Kevin was there, not with his girlfriend or their baby. My husband and Kevin hadn't talked since Kevin's girlfriend and I had a conversation. I hadn't told my husband specifics about our convo, but let him know that it went well. Kevin pulled my husband aside to make sure that they're good since his girlfriend and I talked. I wasn't a part of the conversation, but overheard certain parts. Like Kevin saying that screams insecurity to me. I trust my girlfriend. I trust you. I was going to invite you golfing, but didn't know if we were okay. Stuff like that. My heart literally sunk into my chest. The conversation between Kevin's girlfriend and I was supposed to squash this, not make it worse. And my husband reassured me that it wouldn't affect he and Kevin's friendships, that Kevin wouldn't care. I specifically asked that before I spoke with her, letting my husband know that I never wanted to interfere with Kevin's relationship. I specifically asked that before I spoke with her, letting my husband know that I never want to interfere with him and Kevin's relationship. Anyway, I felt like I did something wrong. I talked to my husband on the way home, and he said that I didn't, and that he and Kevin are fine, but that Kevin's girlfriend feels like she needs to walk on eggshells now or be careful about things she says when we're all hanging out. And by the way, you never have to be careful when listening to full episodes of stories just like this one. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or whatever your favorite podcast app is, and search OK Storytime. There is a little bit more to the story, but what are we thinking about this so far?
I'm out of jokes. I hate these kind of girls with a freaking burning passion.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because it's like, well, I mean, yeah, you kind of do have to be careful about what you're saying. Like, obviously, like, your things are making people uncomfortable, and you didn't know that. So, yes, you
Right.
do have to be careful, but that doesn't mean you need to, like, go to your husband.
Right, we're not, like, censoring ourselves. We're just not touching OP's husband or, like, flashing him up our dresses.
Yeah, right? It's like
pretty obvious things are the only things that need to change.
Yeah.
Barely.
Right, because it's like, okay, well, so in your eyes, girl, like, if you really did see this in a way of, like, you know, I actually don't need to do that much, like, just need to tweak.
Yeah.
Like, what would that look like to you? Because, like, it's gonna be uncomfortable since you
Right.
seemingly didn't realize this was a problem before.
This makes me wonder how much more in her head she was with it all.
Yeah.
That she's like, oh my God, I'm going to have to change my entire personality around this man. Like,
Right.
how obsessed were you
Right.
with OP's husband?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just weird. Like, I can understand if it was genuinely unintentional. I can understand being, like, worried and, like, anxious about coming off now.
100%.
But I don't understand why it needs to be brought up with her husband now, too. You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
get talking to your partner, but
it's
I don't
like
think it should cause
causing-
problems
yeah.
between the two men.
Yeah, like, I'm really want to know what she's saying to Kevin. But there is a little bit more to the story. I'm like, all she has to do is literally think before she talks and it'll be fine. I've known Kevin for much longer than his girlfriend has known my husband, and I would never do the things that she has done or say the things that she's said. I felt like if I didn't say something, it would continue to get worse and she'd keep crossing boundaries. I didn't want that to happen. My husband said that I can't control how she reacts to our conversation. I just hate that I feel like Kevin thinks that I don't trust my husband or that I'm insecure. Am I the a-hole for feeling this way? For having that phone conversation with her? And what's our answer?
No! Not at all.
Not at all. I wonder if a conversation with Kevin can clear things up too.
Maybe. I'm like, cause I'm always torn with this because
Yeah.
part of me is like, yeah, you should feel comfortable, have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other part of me always, every time this happens, is like, just don't let them see that it affects you. You know, like
Yeah.
don't when I think it's more intentional, I feel like that's the way that I tend to fall.
Yeah.
But you can't do that. You gotta have a conversation about it.
Yeah, because I feel like that almost like
You stew. You stew and you get angry and you can't have any interaction with that person without
Yeah.
like finding a problem with it.
yeah, and also it's like
It's not healthy.
she brought it up in a way that like it you know, she didn't have like a big emotional reaction to it.
Not at all.
So
that was a nice message.
Yeah. So I feel like she isn't at risk for like coming off as if she's being totally altered by this.
Not at
you know?
all. Yeah.
So I would trust her to have a decent conversation with Kevin.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like I'm just want to make things clear with you. Like I trust
Right.
her too. I just wanted to make sure because I
And
just found
also-
it weird because
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I think we're
you
gonna
go.
say the same
I
thing.
think so too.
Because it's like OP wasn't the only one being affected by it. Husband was also being like,
That
I am
too.
uncomfortable by this.
Yeah. I was also thinking too, like Kevin's past girlfriend has done that too.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess like they didn't really talk about that with Kevin, but yeah, maybe she doesn't need to bring up that past thing if he wasn't already aware of it.
I think we leave that out of it
Yeah, I
because
think
that kind of
so.
just makes it seem like maybe it's more OP.
Yeah, I actually agree. If Kevin like knew about that and knew that it was a problem, then like I think you could mention it.
Or at least be prepared for it to be mentioned.
Yeah, but like
I wouldn't bring it up.
I wouldn't bring it up either. Yeah.
Disregard.
But do talk to Kevin.
Yes.
And hopefully that can help. But I really don't think you were the a-hole like at
Not
all.
at all.
You're valid for thinking this. You didn't blow up even though you had a lot more anger than you let
Yeah.
show. So
Just- yeah, go to a nice dinner with your hot, muscular husband.
yeah, honestly, just enjoy
'Cause that's
your
what I'm
smoking
picturing.
guy. Yeah, really. Like you've
From
just
the like poking his forearm comment.
yeah. It's like okay,
We get
it. But that's the end of that story. We've got another one coming right up.
Yeah, we do. I told my girlfriend no, and now I'm a bare minimum boyfriend.
If he wanted to, he would.
My girlfriend and I have been dating for a few months, and we've gotten into a few fights already.
Great sign.
Starting strong. Apart from these fights, it has been a great relationship where neither of us can go a day without talking to each other. We're always planning to spend time together, and I've found that all of my free time is spent with her. By the way, this comes from Persimmon Necessary 14, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly,
I'm Angie.
and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. Let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, I'm giving a tremendous amount of effort to make this work because I really love her, but I'm afraid she might be taking things for granted. With that context, we've had a few bad fights that are really making me reconsider if we're truly compatible. From my perspective, I feel like I do a lot to show her that I care and am making a great effort to be a good boyfriend. For example, I took her on a week-long road trip to Miami for her birthday. It was the first time I've ever booked a suite because I wanted it to be special, since it was the first time we were celebrating a birthday together. I made a couple of reservations on her actual birthday and only did what she wanted to do because this trip was all about her. On the day we were supposed to leave, we got into a mini fight after she asked if I could help her pack since I'd finished packing already and was relaxing. I told her I was really tired, but ultimately gave in to help her. We had a small talk afterwards, and I expressed that she simply requests too many things from me sometimes and that I have a limit. We settled it with a mission to work on our communication. When I'm feeling overwhelmed by her requests, I'll let her know and she'll tone them down. No biggie, right? The next fight was a couple weeks later, when we were both hanging out at my place after a long day, and she asked me to go downstairs to get her a glass of water. A small request that I should have no problem with. However, I felt extremely tired this time, and although I usually get her water whenever she asks, I asked if she could get it herself since she knows where everything is, and I have no roommates. Okay. We both ended up just falling asleep for a couple hours. I woke up because I had to use the bathroom, and during this time, she asked again for the glass of water. Since I was already up, I went to get it and brought it up to her. After I handed it to her, I dropped back down on the bed, exhausted and wanting to go back to sleep right away. She finished drinking and touched my arm with the glass, indicated that she wanted me to put it down on the ground for her. I was so tired and didn't want to, so I ignored it. This made her mad, so she touched my arm again with it, adding a grunt. I got annoyed and blurting out, "I'm good, bro." This made her livid, and we started fighting until I apologized for what I said and hoped that was the end of it. I also want to note that we were on good terms in between these fights. Everything goes smoothly until I refuse to do one of her requests. I'm going to pause so quickly.
Go ahead.
OP, I think it's the way that you're refusing the requests.
Yeah.
Not that you're refusing them.
Yeah, I agree. Like if I did that to Riley and I was just like, hello,
like put it on the ground.
Yeah, or like
Or
give
just
me
like,
water. Yeah, he would just like look at me and like joke at me like, you could do it,
Right,
you
he'd
know?
be like, come on, you could put it on the ground
Yeah,
too.
in like the way that we already joke about things.
Right, but turning around and being like, come on, bro, or not
You're like,
now, bro.
I'm good, like, or just straight up ignoring it. Like,
Right.
I feel like
I'd
we
be like,
can
I
do
know
this
you
better.
didn't fall asleep that quickly. Just put the water on the ground.
Yeah, like, come on.
Or I'm gonna crawl over you really dramatically to put the water
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
ground.
Like, if he's just closer to the ground, I feel like that's so valid for him to just do that.
Yeah. To put it on the ground, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
like to put it. Yeah.
I don't want them to think you meant ignoring
I
it.
didn't even think about that. Like, it's so, if he's closer to the ground and can reach the floor a lot easier, it's so valid for him to just put the water down.
Put the water on the
It's
ground.
so easy.
I'm picturing the bed in like a corner, so she's not
Yeah,
even near
right?
it, but I could be wrong. The next fight was when we got home after a long day. She was so sleepy, she went straight to my bed without brushing or putting on her retainer, which she needs to wear nightly because she got Invisalign. I tried to convince her to brush her teeth before we got into bed, but she's very hard to get up once she's already down. So I went to brush without her and got ready for bed. When I was done, I didn't want to just let her sleep without putting her retainer on, so I tried to get her up. I felt I was annoying her, but it worked. She got up and went to brush as I laid down because I was tired. She normally likes it when I stand behind her when she brushes, so she can feel my presence, and she requested it again this time. I usually say yes, but this time I was really tired, so I told her to just please brush on her own and join me in bed after she's done. The sooner she finishes, the sooner we can be physically together again. I'm really big in relationships on, like, the small little acts of, like, just do it. Like,
yeah.
Was it really gonna put you out that being that much more tired?
Right. Or, like, I was thinking, too, like, is it really a big deal if she didn't brush her teeth? Like,
Right.
I feel like
That was where
if
I was
she,
originally at.
Yeah, right. Like, I feel like if she just doesn't want to do that. But
As
I guess
someone
that's not
with
the problem here.
retainers, you
Yeah.
can skip a night.
You could skip a night, you'll be fine.
One night,
But I
she'll
guess
live.
that's not the issue here. But yeah, I don't know. This
These
feels
seem
weird.
so trivial, I guess. I'm like, these
Yeah.
are tiny problems.
Right.
The bathroom is attached to my bedroom, so I was literally like 10 feet away from her. She got really upset and refused to brush until I got up and stood next to her. I told her she was being ridiculous, and this made her even more mad. She sat there on my toilet for what seemed like the next half hour while I stayed in bed. She eventually got it done and joined me in bed, and we both just let it go in the morning. We were good for a little bit until the other day when I was working in DC and decided to get a drink with an old friend after work. During this time, she asked if she and her friend could crash at my place for a little bit. I let them use my place to hang out while I was out and was excited to see her when I got back. We got to hang out with her friend too, and when she had to go, she offered to take my girlfriend home so that I didn't have to drive and come back as they live near each other. Everyone agreed it was a good idea. I took advantage of this by getting ready for bed early because I had work again the next day. I was already in bed when she got home, and she wanted to call to say goodnight. I answered her call right away with enthusiasm and was ready to have a nice goodnight call and go to bed. That is, until she asked if we could FaceTime instead. I nicely told her that I didn't want to because I would have to get up from bed, turn on my lights, which would disturb my sleep, and that I was really tired. Once again, dude, didn't need to do all that. Put the brightness up on your phone.
Yeah. Have the phone be your light.
Could we just say goodnight over the phone? She got really mad that I was refusing to get on FaceTime and angrily said, well, I don't want to just talk to nothing, so I guess goodnight. To which I said, all right, good night, and she hung up. The next day I texted her first, hoping she wasn't still mad, but she made it obvious with her one-word replies. She had plans to see her friend that night, so she said, I'll be busy, so I'll talk to you later, which was fine. I gave her that space. You guys also never finish your fights. Have a conversation.
Yeah, I honestly, have so many thoughts about how these people should not be together.
So many thoughts. The following day, we had plans for the whole day. It was supposed to be another date night I'd planned for us, and I'd gotten us tickets for a pottery painting thing. The plan was for me to pick her up from her friend's place, which is like a 40-minute drive, so I texted her first thing in the morning to let me know when she wanted me to come so that I could prepare. She didn't reply for a couple of hours, and then she finally said that she was just going to Metro home and stay home for the day. This made me pretty upset because I'd been waiting around all morning since I promised her I would pick her up. I let my emotions take over me and asked if she was just going to forget about all our plans today. She got really angry with me and said that she never planned on skipping out on the date, but if I was going to have this nasty attitude, we might as well. We didn't fix things in time before the event, so the tickets went to waste. So now it's the next day, and we're still going back and forth about how I feel like I'm doing so much for her, but it's never enough. And the moment I say no to one of her requests, she gets angry and it blows up into a big thing. She says she appreciates everything I do, but if I can't do these simple asks, then I'm not even doing the bare minimum as a boyfriend. I just can't seem to see her side or agree with her because I feel like I'm doing so much. I dedicate all my free time to spend with her, I pay for mostly everything, and I even drive her to DC multiple times just so she can hang out with her friends safely so she doesn't have to Metro while I wait for her to be done and take her home. And because I said no a few times to requests that I think are a little bit silly and unnecessary, she's accusing me of not doing the bare minimum. I really want this to work, and if it's me, why do I feel burnt out by all her requests? Am I just a bad boyfriend? Thanks in advance for any advice. We have an update. Let me hear it, Ange. Tell me your thoughts.
Okay, I think these guys are just straight up not compatible at all. I think that I see both of their sides.
Same.
Yeah, I understand if the girl is like, okay, yeah, sometimes, like you said, there are just some small things where it's like,
Right.
come on, this stuff is fun and
So
just
easy.
yeah, small little sweet things of what we could do when we hang out with each other. It's just relationship stuff.
Yeah.
So I can understand wanting your partner to do that. But I also understand that demanding it every time and getting mad over not doing every little thing is exhausting.
Yeah. Because it does sound like he's still planning some really nice outings and is doing
Yeah.
a lot for her. So
Yeah.
I would take offense if I did all that and they were
Sure.
like, you're doing the bare minimum.
Yeah, totally.
In the same thing, though, dude,
Yeah.
FaceTime her for 30 seconds.
Yeah. I think that the way he's going about things like
Yeah.
that are definitely also not great.
Yeah.
Saying you don't want me to go stand by you? Like, oh, you're being so ridiculous. It's like, oh my God. Okay, that does not need to be our response to stuff like that. Like,
there's also, like, I wonder what both of their love languages are.
Yeah.
And if hers genuinely just is, like, those small little tasks.
Yeah.
Like, it might be better to focus on those small little tasks.
Sure.
And you don't have to do maybe as extravagant other things kind of thing. But then if his is, like, doing extravagant things, just not compatible.
I think, like, most of all, both of you could just work on how you react to problems. Because you both have responses that I don't like and that I think are immature and unhealthy.
Yeah.
You
Have
know?
you heard of, like, the bird test in psychology or
No.
any of the, like, other little, like, small test things?
No.
There's a bunch of things in psychology that say, like, one refusal of some, like, easy little, like, benign thing sometimes has to be made up by, like, I think it's like 7 or 8 positive affirmation things.
Like,
So,
for
like,
that person
one,
to
if
be
they
redeemed?
get the one negative thing in our brains, you need, like, 8 or something positive ones to make up for the negative one that you received.
Yeah.
And then there's another thing in psychology, and I mean, that first one's questionable. I might be remembering that wrong. But the bird one was a test that they did where they brought couples into a room and they put binoculars on a table, and I think there was, like, a bird or something outside. And they were studying what the partner, whoever picks up the binoculars first, basically, whoever's curious. And looks and finds a bird or something, and they go, hey, like, look at this bird. They study what the partner's response to that is. If they're like, no, I don't want to look at that bird, that's, like, a really bad relationship sign. But if they're immediately like, oh my God, yeah, of course, and, like, where is it? Or, like, show me and show, like, more enthusiasm for something that they might not deem, like, as cool as the other person did. It's a really positive affirmation
That
sign.
makes sense. I could see that.
So it's like the little things do really matter in relationships.
They really do. They,
psychologically, dude.
Psychologically, yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, if that's too long, editors, cut that out. Update. We had a long conversation where we both just listened to each other's perspectives without being defensive. She's going to start taking accountability for her overreactions and be more mindful of being too needy. She does not think that I'm a boyfriend who only does the bare minimum, and she apologized for saying that. But she does agree that maybe she cares more about the little things. By the way, I care about you guys listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Search up OK Storytime. We've got a little bit less left to this story.
Let's just jump right into it.
So for me, I think I'll lessen the gifts, planning trips, and taking her out to eat so much so that I don't feel burnt out. I'll focus more on being more present with her without the flashiness, doing smaller acts of service, and taking more time for myself instead of catering to her world all the time. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt and chalking all of this up to immaturity rather than emotional manipulation. Don't agree with that sentence, buddy. I don't think that she's being immature or emotionally manipulating you.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But if it doesn't get better, then I know what I need to do.
So many mixed thoughts on this one.
So many mixed thoughts. Because it sounds like he's going to do pretty much what I said. Stop as many extravagant things.
Yeah.
I also feel like he likes those extravagant things, though.
Yeah.
So maybe she could plan one.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'll focus more on, like, these tiny things that you need and being more present and stuff. I really like planned dates. Can you plan a date or something?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think, she can. I'm glad that she's working on her overreactions because that, I think was an issue too. But, I hope he works on his reactions to things. Like, I don't necessarily think he was, like, overreacting, but I definitely think he could, like, say things in a nicer way.
It was just a little snippy sounding.
Yeah, it's like if you don't want to stand behind her because you're so tired, just say, like, I love you so much, but I'm so tired. Can you please, Or
make a joke, be like, no, come over here and I'll brush your teeth next to me or something.
Yeah, like there's
you
something
can make
to
it
go about
silly and still be, like, denying the request kind of thing.
Right.
I think it's just when you're like, oh my God, like, stop, you're so needy.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that would get anybody.
Especially since, like, she was tired and didn't want to get up and you convinced her to get up and brush her teeth. So, like, I don't know. I feel like that'd be like, hey, yo, like
Right, I'd be like,
I
you
was
made me get up.
comfortable.
You
Yeah,
get up."
exactly. Yeah. So I feel like you might be a little immature too, and so hopefully you work on that too. Like I
I
feel
hope.
like you're on the way to figuring things out. This is just like
Yeah.
we're listening to that story of you learning through experience. You know,
Exactly.
that's what this feels like. So good luck to you
OP.
guys. Yeah. Oh, yep. Good luck.
But that's the end of the story.
My brother hacked me, and my parents sided with him.
He's hacking into the mainframe.
I'm in my second year of undergrad at a state university in California, and I'm having an issue with my brother who is in his late 20s and a computer engineer. This is relevant to my issue. As a side note, I know very little about computers other than basic Googling skills. By the way, this comes from Difficult Path, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie,
I'm Carly.
and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in this situation, but let us know what you would do in the comments. So, OP says, my brother is a very type A person, very perfectionist and hardworking, often to the detriment of himself and others. He is a nice and positive person and is successful in the traditional sense, but he is very controlling and has a bit of an overblown ego. I'm a much more relaxed person, and the two of us share very little in the way of interests or guiding philosophies. I'm a visual arts major who likes to draw, and he is the type of person who watched Fight Club and thought that Tyler Durden was onto something. Never seen the movie. Have you?
No.
Okay.
But we don't talk about Fight Club.
We don't talk about Fight Club.
I know that much.
We get along, but have hostilities. My brother resents the fact that I am not like him and that I don't look up to him as a role model. He is very fond of mocking my interests, hobbies, and career plans, and he often talks literally about a, quote, plan for me, in which I change my major to engineering and start taking his advice. That is so annoying. My goodness.
Right. Let me be in the arts.
Yeah.
Chill.
You think the path from arts to engineering is like an easy one?
Yeah.
No,
Come on, dude.
not an easy one.
I'm
Although I
just
do
gonna-
actually know someone that did that. Oh no, you're good. Yeah. Okay, cool.
You know somebody that switched from arts to engineering?
Yeah, she's like a friend that I did theater with and like went to art school and stuff, and then like I would see things all the time with her making like little robots in class and
Aw.
stuff, and then she like went to college for that. I'm like, that's freaking impressive, girl. Couldn't be me.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Got the brains and the talent. When he brings this up now over the phone, I stop talking to him for however many days or weeks until he apologizes, and then we do it all over again. 2 weeks ago, my brother made a joke referencing a piece of digital art that I drew on my laptop. I didn't think anything of it until I realized after the phone call ended that I never posted that piece of art anywhere, not even to any cloud service. It had only been available on my physical laptop. I was nervous and downloaded malware bytes, but I didn't find anything. Thinking back, I also recalled my brother making a joke about something that I said to a friend privately on my Discord, which also was not publicly available. Checking Gmail and a few other websites I'm on that showed options, I've discovered someone had been logging into my accounts from an unfamiliar computer and had been doing so for about a week. I called my brother about this, and he laughed and told me that he had remote access to my computer and that he'd been checking up on everything that I was doing from this point on.
That's
What?
weird.
Whatever for, brother?
Wait, why, brother? Are you reading my Discord
For-
messages?
What is that about? I told him that that was ridiculous, and he basically laughed and said that people today have no reasonable explanation. I told him that that was ridiculous, and he basically laughed and said that people today have no reasonable expectation of privacy anyway. What? Dude, that's wild.
That's what?
Like, you guys, we live in, it's
Right.
2025, girl. You expect to be private? That's on you.
Yeah, maybe I expect to be private from my brother, who I would
Yeah.
think would have boundaries.
Right. What? Without going into detail, I've basically discovered that my brother literally has access to everything in my life. My bank
Oh my
accounts,
God.
school account, my art and chat accounts, all the files on my computer. He has even referenced information that leads me to think that there is a very good chance of him having a camera or microphone in my room. He has been in my apartment in the last month, and the only reason that I think he might not is because I haven't been able to find it. There is nothing on my computer or cloud files or anything I'm even remotely embarrassed about. But the idea that my brother has all my information is terrible, and I want him to stop. I don't feel comfortable in my apartment or using my computer or personal accounts anymore. I'm writing this from my school's library. Is there a way to clearly show him that this is wrong with an amount of force and guarantee of my privacy in the future without getting him in serious trouble? Oh, you added that last part.
I don't even care about not getting him in serious trouble.
Yeah, right? It's like the only thing that I was thinking of is bringing the law into it.
Yeah, I was like, we're hammering down on this.
Yeah, dude, like, I don't know. I'm gonna keep reading though.
Okay.
My brother is an idiot, and I'm pissed at him for this, especially in the way that he acts like it's a joke or that he's doing it to mentor me, which he keeps saying. Like, he has called me knowing my class schedule whenever I told him and reminded me.
Which I never told him.
Which he keeps saying, like, he has called me knowing. No, I'm going to just restart. Okay. My brother is an idiot, and I am pissed at him for this, especially in the way that he acts like a joke or that he's doing it to mentor me, which he keeps saying. Like, he has called me knowing my class schedule, which I never told him, and reminded me to go to classes, etc. But I don't think his life should be ruined over this, even if he is an a-hole. He has also joked about dropping my classes, which I got really pissed about, and he assured me that it was a joke, but I still feel uncomfortable that he'd even hint at that. Thanks. And we do have an update. But oh my gosh.
God.
That is so intense.
So I feel like you think that the consequences would be way more harsh for this than I think they actually probably would be.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, 100% lay down whatever you can to get him in trouble. Like, I don't think he's going to get, like, kicked from any programs or anything.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, well, what she's probably worried about is, like, if there's some sort of jail time or something that
right, but I feel like she's not like, I'm gonna press charges.
Yeah.
She's just like, stop.
Yeah, right? Like, the only thing I can think of besides talking to a lawyer is talking to your parents, but because of the title, I feel like that's not gonna go well.
That's true.
But yeah.
Yeah, I guess a lawyer, but, like, you're only, like, going after, like, monetary stuff for damages, not like I want to put you in jail damages.
Yeah.
But I guess the
I'm
record
sure there's
could still
something
show. I say screw that. He's being weird.
Yeah.
And he's threatening to F with your future with literally saying, I'll drop classes.
Literally. Like, you are in college. You're obviously old enough to speak to a lawyer.
Yeah.
I would definitely speak to a lawyer, not gonna lie.
At least get some advice. Maybe a cease and desist to him.
Yeah. Something. But we do have an update, and quite a lot more to this story.
Woo.
Without going into a lot of detail, based on some of the stuff that I read on here in a conversation with a friend, I realized that the way that I viewed the relationship with my brother was incredibly messed up, and I decided to act more seriously about this. I was thinking about how to proceed last night while cleaning, and then I actually found a camera. I know I said I thought there was one before, but I don't think that I really consciously did. I have gone to the police station, and for now have an injunction against my brother. Whoa, I don't know what injunction means, but I'm assuming it's something bad. Good job, OP. Do you know what it means?
I'm going to Google it to make sure.
Okay,
I don't want to
great.
give the wrong definition.
Yeah,
I have a
yeah.
vague idea.
Okay. I also reported the computer hacking along with texts and a phone message he sent where he both alludes to and directly confirms it. So, I don't know what will happen, but I feel a lot better having taken this step. I appreciate the comments that people sent. It helped a lot. Thanks. And we do have a second update from a week later. Do we have that definition of injunction?
So basically, it's like a warning or an order. So it's basically the cease and desist kind of thing.
Gotcha.
It restrains a person from beginning or continuing an action threatening or invading the legal right of another.
Okay. There we go. Here, maybe you should close the gray curtain a little bit. Oh, this one? Yeah, it's a little bright over there. Yeah, see how that works. Nice. That looks better. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. All right. We have a second update from a week later.
Oh my god.
Without exaggeration, this was probably the worst day of my life. After getting served the injunction or temporary restraining order thing, my brother, 1, told my parents, and 2, chose to immediately violate it. Great. He left me several messages that were essentially low-key threatening to ruin my life, and I was scared, so I reported it. He was taken to jail and to my current understanding is going to get a type of misdemeanor charge for it if he
Good.
already hasn't. I mean, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Like, the only thing that I think that maybe you could have done differently is just, like, tell him ahead of time. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this if you...
But
like,
I feel like she kind of already had been like, stop it or there'll be consequences.
Yeah, totally. So it's like, it probably wouldn't have helped either way. And, I mean, if all of the pictures and stuff are digital, then, like, he probably would have found a way to delete them, all the evidence, you know? So I guess maybe that wouldn't have even been a good idea.
You probably knew you were going to go to the police anyway.
But
you probably Googled it. You probably
yeah,
saw it.
right? Yeah.
Weirdo.
Oh my gosh.
Having a camera in a place where it's... Opie's female, right?
Yeah.
So she's changing in front of that camera.
Yeah.
She's like...
That's what I'm thinking.
Like, I'm like, I know that you said there was nothing bad on the device that he hacked.
Yeah.
What if there was?
Yeah.
Like, he went into it not knowing what he was going to find and then set up a camera.
Literally.
So has for sure seen something at this point.
Yes, it's like, what? That is so much further. I mean, all of it's insane.
It's disgusting.
It's disgusting. Like, you're, first of all, my brother.
Yeah.
Second of all, just another human. It's like, okay, I could, if there were like small things, like, okay, oh, ha ha ha, like, I saw that you're doing this, I'm gonna make a little joke about it, but I'm gonna leave it alone. Like, I could make a joke to just show you that I could. Like, I could see my brother doing that.
For sure. Make the joke, haha, I hacked in.
And
then
be
leave.
done. Yeah, and then he'd be like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that.
And then maybe, like, I don't
funny.
know, show me how to remove how you did that from my computer.
Yeah,
like
right?
a good brother.
Yeah, but then the fact that he continues to do that for everything and then sets up a camera is such
He's
another
a little
level. So
Your
creepy.
brother's a little creep.
So creepy. Like, it's not your fault that he's in jail.
No,
it's fully his.
He needed this.
Oh, I don't know if he's in jail right now. Okay. I knew my
parents. Arrested though.
Yes. Or he was
taken to jail.
He was taken to jail, so we don't know if he's still in jail.
Okay, copy.
That's what it is. Okay. I knew my parents were going to take his side, but they have effectively disowned me for this.
Boo-hoo.
My parents are very religious, conservative Catholics. I'm not religious anymore, but they don't know that. And they were very upset by me reporting it. That's an understatement.
Well, tell them how many sins your little boy was committing.
Honestly.
Keeping on your daughter.
Literally. I have enough scholarships where I will be able to continue paying for my living expenses in school with my part-time job, but the way that they treated me was horrible.
Oh.
They're very upset because this will probably screw up his career according to the talks we've had.
I honestly don't think this man should have any more education into stuff
right?
like this.
He should not be doing all of this stuff.
The programs should be warned that he uses his powers for evil.
Yes, honestly, it's like if this is his sister, who like it's gone beyond like sibling
what
fights.
What would he do to someone he doesn't have connection to?
Like an ex-girlfriend that he doesn't like or something like that.
The second that he gets mad about something.
Yeah, like what's gonna happen then? They said I'm disgusting and not welcome home. My dad sent me a video of him and my mom burning most of the belongings that I left at their house. Oh my gosh. Not much important to me, but still. Yeah, still. That's insane.
Oh my god.
What is happening?
Your whole family's crazy.
Oh my god. They don't believe me about the camera, and my dad said that he specifically didn't care even if it was there. Just screaming the entire time. I stopped answering my phone and checking my email because it terrifies me. I bought a new cheap computer because even though someone helped me wipe it clean, I'm honestly too scared of using the old one at this point. I haven't left my room in a week. The worst of it is over, I think, but I feel like I fell in a pit. I can't stop crying. And we have a third update from a month later now.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. This really did blow up. Holy crap.
I've got nothing right now.
Right? It's like, there's honestly no positive way to spin it. That
I'm
sucks.
just so sorry.
Yeah.
The only positive is you have gotten away from 3 insane people.
Yeah, like, that it might be the thing where it just sucks right now, but, like, over time, this is just,
God.
I mean, I was gonna think, like, you know, you're dodging a bullet, you're saving yourself from poor treatment later, but you're getting poor treatment now, so this is what's showing you that, like, yeah, these are not good people to be around.
I mean, you're in college, you have the means to keep going to college.
That's good.
Find your support system there, find some really great friends, and you sound like you've got a good enough head on your shoulders to know that this is just something to leave.
Yeah.
And you're doing it.
Yeah. Like, like, I don't know what they expected you to do about this.
That's insane.
It's so insane. But we do have a third update from a month later, and we're not even halfway through this story, mind you. So I really hope that this turns around.
Okay.
I'm gonna really, really hope. This is a month later now. Hi, still in California. I'm having some new problems since my last update, and I'm unsure how to handle them.
Okay.
I'd like to say things have been good, but they haven't. No. I had to stop school this semester because I've become extremely depressed and can't handle the workload of both school and work, plus some personal things that I'm focused on related to my spicy orientation. I'm planning on going back next semester. I really can't focus on anything past work, and my life feels very empty right now. I need to leave the house more. Haha, and talk to someone who isn't a customer. My brother is still in police custody a month later. Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I am still in the process of getting convicted, which apparently takes much longer than I thought. My parents and a few random people their age who I think they've recruited for this have been continually pestering me through various electronic means and random phone numbers. They do the star 67 or something.
Change your phone number.
Yeah, honestly. And spreading false rumors about me. I was too depressed to deal with it properly with another restraining order or other thing, so it's just been easier to ignore. My main problem at the moment is that I'm trying to get a new job, but I can't because of my social security number. When I broke off with my parents and this happened, I had some of my important documents with me, but not the ones that college students don't use on a daily basis, like my passport, social security number, birth certificate. I'm embarrassed, but I don't have it memorized. The last time I needed it, my parents sent me a picture before all this happened, but I no longer have that in my texts. I called my parents to send them to me and tried to make it sound like I'd call the police if they didn't, and my father implied that he either burned them or would never give them to me. He didn't visibly burn them in the video he sent, but I don't know if that was everything. I have trouble talking to him right now, and I couldn't maintain it. I tried calling his parish leader, who I know, and he told me that he'd talked to my parents about not giving me the info or pestering me, but it hasn't done anything if he did. Surprise, surprise. The only documents I have to prove ID are my permit and my school ID, which is useless in this scenario. I need more documents if I want to get a new social security card.
Oh,
wow.
Okay, weird advice for this.
Yeah.
Call your school,
Sure.
call, doctor's offices, anywhere that's ever scanned your ID might still have that scan on file.
Yeah.
I have roundabout very weirdly found pictures in a crunch of my passport from weird places that I've submitted it before.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I don't know if that could work, and I know it's
Yeah.
already passed at this point, but that is my advice for anybody.
Right.
Find the weird places that might have scanned them.
Yeah, because I'm wondering too, it probably wouldn't give you a picture of it depending on where you work, but you do have to give your social security number to your workplace.
Right.
So I'm sure they have that written somewhere.
Right.
At least.
Someone has it for tax info or something.
Yeah.
And if you get that, you can get the passport, you can get the social.
Yeah.
Social, you can get your birth certificate.
Right. You at least can know it so that you can use type it in somewhere.
They know that people lose those things a lot. There's a system, I'm sure. But check the weird places.
Yeah. I'm also scared of my parents having this information because I think they might try to mess with my life. I'm afraid that if I call the police, my dad will just claim that he never had it and burn it or hide it forever, and then I'm screwed without any way to fully prove my current identity to get new documents. Also, I want to change my name, and I'd appreciate it if anyone knows the best way to go about doing that, or if it would be too much of a pain right now. Not that big of a deal, and honestly, I'm still lazy, but it would make me feel better if it's not a big thing. Thank you very much.
Might be the time to do it, since you don't have all the documents.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it might be the time that you do it, or if you don't have the documents, you can't or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
It would be either way. But it might just be a time, if you can get the info, you might be able to just, when you reissue the new ones.
Yeah. I don't know what exactly you want done. I've heard that the process can be a little weird. I know that if you want to get your sex change on your driver's license, it costs a bunch of money.
A bunch.
So I don't know if that's what you're trying to do, if it's just a name that you're looking for, but personally I don't have any experience with that, but
I have friends that have changed names and a couple that have changed. I think I do have a friend that actually has changed their gender.
Mm.
2 maybe. And I know that it was very similar to the name change process, but I do know that currently there's a lot of issues with them getting that redone, which is really sad.
Yeah.
But you're in California.
Yeah.
So I think you've got pretty good odds.
Right. Comparably.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people here have been very helpful to me at a point in my life when I don't really have anyone to talk to or give me advice regarding these types of legal issues. And we do have a 4th update from 3 months later.
Let's just hear it.
Let's do it. I just want to make this post because I think it's good to make a point about how the world actually works, and I don't like leaving things under false impressions that everything ended up being okay. Great. I don't like that. I want things to be okay.
I want everything to be okay.
The last 5 months of 2018 were the worst months of my life. Okay, wow, 2018. Because of everything that happened with my brother and me being disowned by my family, my family's friends, and many other people who I thought that I knew and respected. I ended up getting my documents back without too much trouble, but after that, everything has been a loss.
Oh.
My brother was not really punished in any substantive way. My parents have endeavored to protect him, and he basically got something on the level of probation, no jail time. He was fired, but has been hired again with a much better job with a small private company because, I'm told, of a connection with a colleague. He, or my parents, but I think him for various reasons, had various people call me up from unlisted numbers with vaguely threatening messages, calling me a witch, or just breathing on the phone until I had to get a new phone number. Oh my gosh, that's so creepy. Just breathing on the phone?
Creepy.
Ew. Rumors have been spread about me to the point where I don't even feel comfortable talking to nice people that I knew because I'm afraid that they'll judge me based on things that they've seen that aren't true. I am still not going to be able to go back to college this semester because of personal and financial reasons, and I basically have lost all my friends due to either personal insecurity, severe depression, or the rumors. I don't leave my house outside of work, and I'm not taking care of myself in the way that I should. I'm very grossly thin and pale. I'm working on getting better, though, and I've been having very terrible dreams about going to heck and burning alive forever, which are driving me crazy. Oh my gosh. This is terrible. I'm not going to do anything dramatic, but mentally, I am not where I need to be. I'm not trying to make this a pity party, and I acknowledge that I'm a big part of the reason this happened, in the sense that I'm not handling it in the most productive way, and I'm not asking for help. I have a crappy job that allows me to stay alive fine, just having trouble getting to school, which I think I'll be able to start again this summer, but I want to emphasize how messed up the whole system is. This is the second time in my life that I've been put in this position, and my first time as an adult and someone trying to report it, and either way, I've been screwed, lied to, and watched the person who ruined my life get away and live happily ever after. Nobody cares about people who get violated, and I understand why they don't come out and report. It's all rigged. My brother, his girlfriend, and my parents are on an almost 2-week-long Hawaiian cruise right now, smiling and laughing, and I'm in my apartment still unable to sleep right because of all of this. Happy New Year, enjoy your cruise, haha, what a cool picture of the water slide. Again, thanks to this community at least. It was a big help in the early stages when I needed to get my thoughts together, and I really appreciated it. I hope everyone who was cool about it gets the type of life they deserve. Really, thank you. And we do have a 5th update from 4 months after that. Oh, boy. Boy, oh boy.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad that,
Oh, you got your documents.
You glad that you got the documents. Silver linings. Got the documents.
Silver linings. Got
Got
your
an
documents.
online community.
Yes. Maybe you can change your name like you want to now. You got a new phone number, so they can't call you anymore.
Yeah, you need to go into witness protection.
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
I know. I mean, obviously, you tried legal things and, it didn't punish him as much as you thought it would or wanted it to or something. But, I mean, I wonder if, with all this pesterment, you can file some sort of restraining order on him.
Right. I feel like you can go down harder with it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because
I'm so sorry that the legal system sucks so
Dude,
much.
yeah, honestly. But we do have a 5th update. 4 months later. I moved to another state now.
Okay.
For the purposes of the final update, it doesn't matter. things have settled for me as of 4 weeks ago, and I remembered a lot of people sending me messages and PMs, so I thought I would give a final update. Life isn't good in the sense that everything is perfect. I 100% absolutely do not believe in karma or that good things happen to people who do good and vice versa with evil people. But things ended up working that way in this scenario after all the crap.
Thank
Okay. Long story short, 3 months ago, my brother was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and he passed away about 2 months later this April. That's crazy. Speechless.
What?
Oh my god. Oh my god. That is a crazy way
This
to
story
jump into
cannot
that.
be real.
This is insane. This is insane.
Girl.
I'm shocked. The way you
went into
yeah, starting it off with karma and being like, yeah, I don't believe in karma, but I guess it worked out this
good
way.
news.
He passed away from a terminal illness. Huh?
What?
Like, okay, listen. I get it, okay?
You have been through heck and
Yes,
back and back
yeah.
again.
And when you're so powerless, it's understandable to have those feelings. And
I'm glad you have your relief from this like horror story
like,
now.
He can't get to anymore. That's great. But that's
You just whiplashed us hard.
You really, for real skis did. And and I don't mean to say that as in like I'm glad that he's passed away.
For sure.
That's like something that I cannot say at all. Like I was not in that situation.
Yeah.
But I understand that if you were having those extreme
I'm happy
thoughts,
for you for your relief.
yes. And that is all.
Wow.
But oh boy, oh boy. Oh gosh. My hair's stuck.
Oh no.
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. My gosh. Okay, continuing on. We don't have a family history with this, and I found out about it more than a month after his diagnosis. I did not see him after his passing. Well, sure. Oh, okay. Like, I guess, like, at the wake or something.
I'm guessing.
Okay.
I was wondering if it was maybe after diagnosis, but I think it just means, like, I didn't go to a funeral.
Yeah,
or
okay, that's
anything.
probably what it is. And whatever campaign he had to bug me with his buddies just stopped all of the sudden when he found out about it, so I guess he lost interest once he realized he didn't have much time. I didn't know many details because I am not involved, and I obviously didn't try to be, but he's passed away now. I'm glad. I felt bad about it for a day or two, and then thought, no, I'm gonna say it again. I'm glad. I felt bad about it for a day or two, and then just thought, no, really done with it. The universe threw me one freebie, and I'm going to appreciate it. I honestly feel freer and happy, and I hope he passed away in as much pain as could be expected. You know what? Just go ahead. Vent your heart out. These are her words, not mine. Not mine, okay, guys? My life is good right now. The past 9 months have been some of the worst times of my life, but things have settled into almost niceness. Uni is postponed at the moment, and maybe forever, but I've found a good job that I like in a much cheaper state that I like more, and don't have to work a lot. And don't have to work out a lot. I have plenty of free time now, and I'm having fun with it instead of sitting in misery. I started drawing again and reading incredibly depressing online superhero novels. I'm also pushing myself to make new friends and going to look into therapy soon, feeling alive again. Taking care of my health again, and I'm taking care of my health again, and I'm not undereating. Oh, okay. And I'm not undereating anymore. Parents have reached out twice, and I ignored them. I'm planning to do it again and forever. I hope they rot, and I don't feel bad about it anymore. Sick of feeling guilty, sick of feeling sick. They're the messed up people, not me. And it would be messed up if you didn't listen to full episodes of stories just like this one. Go to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever favorite podcast app you have. And search OK Storytime. There is a little bit more to the story.
I don't really have any more thoughts.
Yeah. I'm like speechless.
Sure. I'm very happy that your life is going significantly better though, and I agree. Keep your parents cut off.
Yeah.
We don't need to go back to any of that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
start your new life in your new state.
Exactly. There is a little bit more to the story. All I want to do now is hear about whenever they go and join my brother. Wow. I don't want to say my brother suddenly got cancer and passed away and that fixed everything and I'm happy now, because that isn't true, but he did pass away and I'm glad about it. And yes, it did make me feel happy and I'm finding it much easier to be happy now. I wish I could say I didn't need luck to fix my problems, but whatever. Thanks to everyone who sent me messages and offered me types of help, even if I didn't take it. I had 4 one-time conversations with 4 people. That meant a lot to me. I hope only nice things happen to you guys. Thanks again. And there are some comments. Yeah, I'm gonna just not. Thanks again. And that is the end of that story. Wow.
Cool.
Yeah,
good for you, OP. Honestly,
good for you.
Finding your truth in it and for not feeling guilt about someone who was terrible to you.
Yeah, I mean, like, you really didn't do anything in the situation. Everyone was being so horrible to you.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like people will hear that last stuff about wishing pain on others, you know, and I feel like, you know, yeah, in a personal conversation, like out loud to someone that you don't know, you probably wouldn't want to say that stuff, but I'm really just reading this as like, this is anonymous, it's the internet, I need to rant about this.
And you were so fed up and so mistreated. I get it. Like,
yeah, like I think if you have any of those thoughts, you usually keep those in.
But the inside thoughts, anonymous on the internet,
exactly,
they become our outside
so
thoughts.
I kind of am just like letting you vent on this.
She was just going for it.
Go right ahead.
Go for it.
Yeah, but wow, that was crazy. That was wow.
And that was the end of that story.
Yes, it was.
We have another one though.
We do have another one. Stay tuned.
I am jealous of my cousins-in-laws and it's tearing me apart.
No, not jealousy.
People, me, 20s female, mom, 60s female, cousin, Jolene, 20s female, sister-in-law, mother-in-law, etc. To start, we have a massive family. Think the stereotypical 1.5 million cousins and loud as crap family parties. The problem is hierarchies form at those gatherings, and my mother and I have always been on the bottom of the totem pole. We're not exactly close with many members, and most of the few we are close to don't live nearby. By the way, this comes from just a throwaway 7842, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Angie.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I think there's a hair. I don't know. My closest cousin, Jolene, is just slightly older than me. Since I grew up as an only child, I kind of idolized her. Anything Jolene did, I wanted to do. What she wore, I wanted. I thought she was the coolest, prettiest person in the world, and I wanted to be just like her. As adults, Jolene and I have spoken about this. She said she was always flattered, but she has the worst imposter syndrome I've ever seen. Growing up, she'd feel exceedingly unworthy of my childish adoration, and that continued into adulthood. I always told her she'd be in my wedding, my first child's godmother, etc. You get the idea. I was obsessed with her, but we still grew up very close. Of course, as an adult, don't get it twisted, I'm not obsessed with her like when I was 5. My opinion of her has never changed, though. I still think she's amazing, and I'll always look up to her. Jolene has a son, and his father sucks. Pretty cut and dry. When they were separated and divorcing, my mom and I would spend a ton of time going to see them and being supportive for Jolene. We'd bring food, take them out, have fun outings. Jolene's son is autistic, and she was having a hard time being a single parent and trying to support him as best she could. Jolene found a new husband in the last few years, and we actually love him. He's kind, supportive, and I get great vibes from him. He's also been wonderful to Jolene's son and loves him like his own. The problem has been with his family making us feel sort of pushed out. Jolene's mother passed away of cancer last year, and it was devastating. By the end, she didn't know what was going on or who some people even were. Jolene moved her wedding up so that her mother would be alive to see it, but she wasn't even able to attend due to her state. It was probably the most bittersweet and heartbreaking weekend, and I have always wanted to keep the drama that happened a secret so that Jolene could have as many good memories from that day as she could. My mom really tried to step up and be a pseudo-grandmother. If the kids needed anything, we got it. If Jolene needed someone to take her son for a bit, we were there in a heartbeat. This was the case during the wedding weekend, too. When we met Jolene's new in-laws, I will admit I felt a bit territorial. That is a character flaw I have. But I try my absolute best to never show it because I've never met these people and I don't want to be rude. I'm going to safely assume my mom probably felt the same. The first night before the wedding, we had a great get-together. I was sitting next to my cousin, who was sitting next to her new sister-in-law. I asked her if she was going to need any help the following day, getting dressed, getting ready, etc. She assured me that our aunts were there and would be helping her, and I was very content by that. Contented?
Guess so.
And I was very contented by that. Her sister-in-law, though, decided to say, actually, I've been stepping into the sister role. Okay.
What does that mean? What? Why is there one sister role?
Right. My territorial butt made direct eye contact and said, I have bathed this woman when she had pneumonia. I've been her sister since we were children. That was on me, and it was probably rude. I do regret being rude. The next day, my husband and I had Jolene's son while Jolene got ready. My mom got Jolene last-minute things she forgot, so she was in the Airbnb when Jolene was worried about how she wanted her veil. Jolene's mother-in-law said that they should consult my hair and makeup person, and my mom said, how about we let the bride decide? So my mom got a mirror and put up a few placements, and it calmed my cousin, so she was able to choose. After my cousin walked away, her mother-in-law said to her new husband, doesn't she, your mom, remind you so much of Aunt so-and-so? Now, my mom is funny and self-deprecating. She jokingly said, oh, is Aunt so-and-so a witch? She did not expect the mother-in-law to very seriously say, yeah, she is.
That's like, okay, on the mom, that's a funny joke. Good on you, Mom.
That is a funny joke.
But it is not a joke anymore when they confirm that. What?
Dead serious confirm that.
Oh my god.
The egregious thing that occurred happened at the wedding, and this is the thing that the whole big family I spoke about earlier is still mad about. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a lifelong grudge that my aunts and uncles will never get over. My cousin obviously had a wedding bouquet, but the person she got it from was kind enough to make her mother a little bouquet. Now, her mom didn't know what was going on at all, but it was still so sweet that she got her own bouquet of flowers. For some reason, despite the fact that my cousin didn't have a wedding party due to the small size of the wedding and the quickness of the planning, the in-laws all showed up dressed very formally, with professionally done hair and makeup, and all wearing the same color, like bridesmaids. I admit this pissed me off. If Jolene was going to have bridesmaids, I would have been one of them, and I sure as crap was more likely to be a maid of honor than this sister-in-law was. Anyway, aside from the color matching, the sister-in-law also had my passing away aunt's bouquet of flowers. I don't know how she got them, and I can't say for sure that she knew it was my aunt's, because maybe she didn't know, but she had taken my passing away aunt's flowers. My family, who tends to sit in cliques with each other and stay around ourselves, glared daggers at this woman the whole ceremony and reception. When they got up for pictures, one of my aunts went to their table, snatched the flowers, and hid them.
Nice. I'm glad you're not the only one that is bothered by this.
Yeah. So, needless to say, not the best first impression. Now, a year later, every holiday, weekend, anything seems to be claimed by the in-laws. Thanksgiving, Christmas, her first Mother's Day without her mother, and pregnant with her first daughter that her mom would never get to meet. 4th of July, etc. We always asked to get together with them for these times, especially Mother's Day, but they were always with the in-laws, and it's feeling like our toes were being stepped on. I think my mother really feels like the in-laws are trying to replace Jolene's existing family. I appreciate them a ton for being as supportive as they have been since my aunt's passing, but I also get the same feeling. They've always been there for Jolene, but we would also like to spend time with them. I've already asked to have Thanksgiving with them this year, just to get a jump on it, because absolutely bragging, I make a great Thanksgiving meal, but I make too much food for our small family unit. I just want to know how I can approach this delicately, how to be fair and supportive of how my mom feels, while also not being needlessly aggressive to people who have been nothing but kind to my cousin. These feelings have been spurred up because Jolene had a second child, a little girl. Her due date was on my birthday, and she was born 2 days before.
Cute.
I felt so special when Jolene called me and asked if I wanted a new birthday twin.
Aww.
We already have a cousin born on my birthday because there's so many of us, but I would be elated for Jolene's little girl to be born so close to my birthday. And shoot, can I say it? Elated, but elated wasn't the word.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And I would be elated if you guys would listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime. We've got just a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, how would she go about that?
I don't even know. I feel like, I wonder if there's ever even been a conversation or just like a bunch of snippy comments here and there.
Yeah, like from the sister-in-law?
From sister-in-law, from mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wondering if air needs to be cleared or something, or if you can go to Jolene and just be like, hey, like, I really miss you. Like, can we have a holiday?
Yeah, honestly, going to Jolene is probably the best way to do it. Just being super honest, especially if you guys are close. Like, hopefully you can talk about something like that.
I feel like
I want you to have a relationship with your in-laws. Like,
we haven't had a holiday. Yeah. Like, and you know I make a good Thanksgiving meal.
Right?
Like,
yeah, like make it funny.
With it.
Yeah. I feel like that would be the best way to do it. Because then if you go around and talk to the in-laws, then it's like, there's too much separation there for you to, like...
Yeah, I only say talk to the in-laws if they bring up, like, lingering problems.
Yeah,
and there could be, like, a combined thing or something. Yeah, or have Jolene host or something.
Yeah, have everybody come to Jolene. Yeah.
I don't know.
know.
I was so excited when she was born 2 days before. She's gorgeous, and I'm not a fan of most kids, except Jolene's and my husband's nephews and nieces. But I'm obsessed with this wonderful little girl. I am not the godmother. Jolene's husband wanted his sister to be the godmother, so that's what they went with. Am I hurt? Sigh, yes. Was I surprised? Not at all. I didn't get my hopes up because I expected Jolene's husband to want his only sister to be the godmother of his first child. Not much of our family is invited to the christening, but we are, and I want to go, but I also know it'll hurt a bit. And that is the end of that story.
Well, this is Jolene's second child,
right?
Though,
I was confused by that.
Yeah, so was she the godmother of the first kid?
No, that was back to talking about the first kid.
Oh.
So I'm...
Really?
But then it, like... Yeah.
Because it sounded like
Oh, wait, no, but I'm obsessed with the wonderful little girl. Yeah, that is not... Maybe just they meant the first girl.
Yeah, like...
Or something.
Because I forget what they said about OP being the godmother. It said, like, oh, I would be the godmother, but I don't know if that happened. You know what I mean?
I don't think it did.
Because I'm thinking, like, if OP is the godmother of the first kid, then maybe it's like, oh, the husband wanted the sister for the first kid, but, like, since that didn't happen, then she's the godmother of the second kid. Like,
that I could get behind.
That
you
makes
don't need
sense.
to be the godmother of all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
But,
Jolene's the godmother of OP's kid.
Okay.
Or would be, is what she was saying. At the beginning.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, talk to Jolene.
Sounds like a conversation just needs to be had.
Honestly, like, just, I miss you, and I want to hang out with you more, and I don't know if there's any, like, bad blood. I kind of feel like something's happening, but, like, I'm prepared to move on like normal if they agree, you know? Or if they...
And hopefully that's enough.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully. But that's enough of that story. I helped my neighbor build his home, but now he's acting like I owe him.
Wouldn't he owe you?
Hello, this is going to be quite a long story. At the end of 2023, I found myself homeless. I've got something called multiple sclerosis? Sclerosis? But that's besides the point. That's how I ended up spending a full 17 months homeless until March of 2025. Oh my gosh.
Dang.
By the way, this comes from Extra Cheesy Broccoli. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in the situation. So let us know what you would do in the comments. So, Opie says, I now find myself in Northern Ontario. I think I'm closer to the North Pole than I am to the U.S. border. I'm living... Wait, I'm going to say that again.
Yeah. Cool. It's good now.
Okay, cool. I think I'm closer to the North Pole than I am to the U.S. border. I'm living in a somewhat off-grid homesteading type community, and yes, with my medical issues, I know it's probably more difficult for me than it is for most people, but I'm happy. I've got my dog, a small camper I live in, and I'm somewhat making it work. That being said, there's a person who's the focus of this story, and I'm going to call him Jason. Jason has a wife, but she's not really relevant to the story. Jason moved up here in May, and from what I saw, he made a mistake. He shouldn't be up here. I know that's saying a lot, but he really shouldn't. He came up with absolutely nothing, not even a plan, and he's on ODSP, Ontario Disability Support Program. Now, that's saying a lot. That's $1,505 a month, and I survive on $300, sometimes less.
Oh my god.
But he came totally unprepared. He was lucky that he got here in the spring, mid-May. To say the least, he's got no outdoor experience and no building experience. I know I've got my medical issues, but his make him... I know I've got my medical issues, but his make him quite frail. In fact, his wife is also very, very frail. When I first met Jason, I was on my way to visit a friend who has a plot right next to his. I saw him and immediately got flashbacks to my time being homeless, living in the woods in a blue tent, waking up at 2 in the morning in minus 40-degree weather, the inside of my tent covered in ice. Honestly, I felt bad for him, and we talked. He told me he had plans to build some sort of home. The first day of construction on his place did not go well. In fact, it went so badly that all the members who had been willing to help washed their hands of him and refused to help again. Wow. Interesting. How bad did it go?
Right.
What went so poorly?
What happened?
Yeah. When we were trying to lay down stone that we had collected by hand to level the foundation, he started freaking out because he had no cigarettes. Then, when we tried to talk to him about the best way to build a solid foundation, floor, and walls, we were met with, F this, F that, that's not the effing way I want things done. It was just a bad attitude all around. Yes, now we're understanding what the problem is.
Why everyone else dipped.
Yeah, maybe that's why we shouldn't be here. After that one day, anyone who had been willing to help him was no longer willing to lift a finger. Against my better judgment, I was still willing to keep helping him, mostly because of that blue tent and because his wife is a very sweet woman. Over the next several months, May, June, July, and August, whenever he got any wood or building supplies, he would come down and ask me to do a bit of work. I had no problem with that. That's what neighbors are for. It always started the same way. He'd say, can you come up and help me with a very small job? It might take an hour. Yeah, no problem, I would say. Of course, I was more than willing to help. But that 1 hour would turn into 3, 5, even 8 hours. I've got my limitations, but he always found a way to guilt me into staying, not just to do the task that he needed done, but then something else right after. He'd say, oh, I need some help digging a ditch so I can lay some stones for a walkway. But it wouldn't just be me digging. But it wouldn't just be digging the ditch because he never helped. It would be digging it, then laying the stones, and when I finished that, it was on to something else, like, I'm trying to put up an outhouse, but I don't know how to do this. Can you help? And then it would turn into me doing the whole thing myself. It got even more frustrating when we were actually trying to build his home. Whenever I tried to give him suggestions, because I have a background in construction, he'd get upset, start swearing, and throw a fit because that's not how he wanted it done. Well, then do it yourself, bud. Come on.
Right. Do some of the work.
Yeah, that's what they always say. If you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself.
Yeah.
And also either
You would have done it wrong, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like either that or just listen to your construction.
Right. Why are we
experienced
not
person.
taking that advice?
Yeah, come on. The problem was the way he wanted it done wasn't functional. It wasn't going to keep the weather out. But again, I felt bad for his wife. I felt bad for their situation. So I said, fine. I just did it the way that he wanted. It took months, little by little, but the place eventually got built the way that he wanted. Even then, he still wouldn't listen. The place needed to be insulated, something he and his wife could have done themselves. I suggested that they start by insulating the floor and ceiling first, and then move on to the walls when they could. I told him, always start with the floor and ceiling up there. I told him, always start with the floor and ceiling up here. That'll keep you warm. But he didn't listen. He told me that's not the way he wanted to do things, that he knows best. So I left him to his own devices. A little over 2 weeks ago, in the early afternoon, I hear a knock, 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 knock at the door of my very small camper. It was Jason. It was the day after our first little cold spell overnight. It went down to -5 degrees Celsius, and guess what? His place didn't stay warm at night because he only had 3 walls insulated. What'd you think that was gonna do, Jason?
Yeah, what are we doing?
It's like, oh, this is not the way I want it. I want to be cold at night. Like,
You want to be really cold at night?
I want to not keep my house warm at all, actually. The floor wasn't insulated, the ceiling wasn't insulated, and it wasn't holding any of the heat from his wood-burning stove. It got cold. Jason was angry. He didn't come down to blame me, but he came to guilt me. He told me that he had more work to do on the place and that he'd be able to get more supplies in a couple of days when his check came in, but he said he wasn't going to make it through the night, even though it wasn't supposed to get that cold. Now, you're probably wondering why he came down to tell me all this. It's because he wanted him and his wife to stay in my camper, my home. My home that's only big enough for 1 person and 1 dog. What he actually wanted was for me and my dog to vacate our home so that he and his wife could stay in it. And where was I supposed to go?
Oh my god.
That's so insane. His suggestion... Sorry, did you...
No, I accidentally made it look like it glitched.
Oh, you're good.
I'm just say that again. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really quick at adjusting this. Yeah. She's sliding over here.
She's slipping and sliding.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Huzzah.
Okay. Cool.
My coffee made me more tired today.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I feel like I took my ADHD medication, but I'm still everywhere. Not working. Something in the air.
Something in the air.
His suggestion was that I stay in either the small cabin that I've been building out of scrap wood and logs, a side project, more of a hobby than anything, or go get a motel room for the night. That cabin has no insulation. It's not ready to be lived in. It's basically still exposed to the elements. And as for the motel room, yeah, because that's reasonable. I should leave my home and pay for a room that I can't afford. I don't have $150 to spend a night in the motel. I've got just enough money to keep my dog fed and myself fed. There's really no room. Wait, we good? Okay, yeah.
Go back 1 page, maybe. Just read that page again.
Okay. I've got just enough money to keep my dog fed and myself fed. There's really no room in my life for luxuries. Heck, I'm still trying to save up for proper winter gear, a decent winter jacket and snow pants. I said no. Jason didn't like that. In fact, he blew up. I remember almost his exact words. That's not effing fair. This is my effing life. What am I supposed to effing do? This is my effing life. Dude, the lack of brains in this man.
You know what you can go do? You can go build your house.
Yeah, go build your house. Or, bright idea, stay in a motel that you want OP
Why don't
stay
you
in.
Go stay in the motel?
Yeah, this is your life. It's my life too. This whole thing isn't your life.
This is my house.
We're not in some sort of simulation for you. Come on.
Oh my god.
He seemed to forget that, I've got to live too. This is my home. There are more people on this planet than just him.
Yeah.
I've been more than fair with him. I've neglected my own winter preparations just to make sure that he was okay. I've calculated that I've given him at least 200 hours of my time, often at times when I shouldn't have been helping him at all. Times when I was in so much pain, when my legs just weren't working, and when all I wanted to do was cry. Because again, I have multiple sclerosis. I'm medicated, but I still get bad days. Unfortunately, I know I'm easily guilted. After that blow up, I told him I was done. I said, I can't help you anymore. I've got my own things I need to do. We're very close to some serious snowfall and cold weather, and there's a lot I've got to get done with not much time left. And by the way, we've got a lot of episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. And is a little bit more to the story, but
Wow.
glad we said no.
Thank
Finally.
God. That's insane to get mad and to demand someone else leave their house because you're mad that you did your insulation wrong.
Exactly. That's crazy.
What?
Crazy. I'm so glad that OP's standing up for himself.
Good on you for saying no.
Good on you. Even after that, he still tried to guilt me into helping him more. One of the things he said to me was that if I didn't help him, he had nothing else, that he wouldn't make it through the winter, that he'd have to leave. Then he asked, do you really want to be responsible for me having to leave? This is my dream. A dream, mind you, that he's been building using my labor for free. I haven't gone back to help him since. In fact, the last I heard, he actually left and got in contact with one of the community associations in one of the small towns near where I live. They've put him in a motel, which honestly kind of irks me, considering all the work that I put into his place just for him to walk away. But you know what? It is what it is. I just feel like ranting today. And that's the end of that story.
Wow.
I'm glad you got your thoughts out.
Yeah.
I wonder, you'd have to buy the land, which would probably be expensive, but I wonder if you could, buy that. You could just use that house that he's living, or, you'd have to put more work into it, but
you've already put so much into it.
Yeah.
I wonder how much that would cost to maintain and stuff, too.
Yeah, exactly. Might not be worth it. Might just be one of those old houses you see on the side of the road in a road trip. But yeah, that's the end of that story. We've got another one coming right up.
My best friend reconnected with my ex, and now I can't stay friends with him.
Well, that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Me, 23 male, and my best friend, 23 male, have known each other since we were about 14 years old. He's actually a very good friend and has always been very supportive and loyal. Let's call him Tom. By the way, this comes from Joseph Luigi, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstory. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Angie.
And we're here to give good advice, goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, unfortunately... Keep the story, please. Sorry.
God, so sorry.
Unfortunately, Tom has had it a bit rough throughout his life. Not going to go into specifics, but let's say he hasn't had the best family environment. He has had health health
highlight reel.
Woo.
Don't put that in, editors.
He has had health complications to the point that he can be described as having a disability. Had to almost replace his dad in some ways when raising his little sisters and other stuff. Still, he has managed to stay very, very positive about life and is one of the purest hearts out there. In 2019, I was 16 and got a girlfriend who was 15 at the time. Let's call her Sam. It took me about a year to introduce them both because he was studying at a different school, and for almost a year, we didn't talk much. Still, when we did talk, I used to tell him a lot about her. Eventually, they met because I invited them to an escape room for my birthday. They hit it off very quickly, as they were both very kind and good-hearted. The three of us would hang out very often and had very good times together. To be clear, during our time together, they never hung out by themselves. Sam was very respectful of our relationship, and so was Tom. They did message each other sometimes, but the vast majority of their communication was through a group chat that we had together. They became as good friends as you can become with this situation up. In February of 2023, she broke up with me on relatively good terms. We said that we'd stay friends. One of the things that happened during the breakup was that she thanked me for introducing her to Tom because he was such a good friend. That threw me off a bit at the time, but I figured it didn't matter anymore. After that conversation, Sam asked me if we could pretend to still be together when her mom picked her up from our university because she didn't want her to know about it yet. I accepted. After all, I still cared for her. For the next 2 weeks, the three of us would still make calls and play video games together as we used to do, but it obviously felt off. I tried to be as nonchalant as possible and hung out with my uni friends. Sometimes, Sam and I would bump into each other, but I actively tried to avoid her. One time, I was talking with some friends when she pulled me aside to greet me with a kiss on the cheek and walk away. My friends and I stared at each other in silence as it was a bit uncomfortable. After 2 weeks, Sam said that she needed to talk with me to help her with her mind. The most important thing about that conversation was that she felt hurt because I didn't search for her after the breakup, even after I told her that I'd respect her decision.
What?
That rang an alarm in my brain as trouble, and I decided to drop all communication with her for good. I didn't block her or anything, but I stopped following her on every social media platform, deleted her number, and deleted all the chats I had with her. During this grieving period, I started to vent with Tom, but Sam was also doing the same. I knew because he sometimes told me, but I never asked about it because I believe that their friendship is private to them and I should respect that. This situation made me feel uncomfortable talking about my pain with him, so I resorted to other friends. I am an extrovert, so I have many groups of friends, some of which know each other and some who don't. I started venting with my uni friends who aren't acquainted with Tom. They mentioned an apparent friend of mine who was adding flirty comments with Sam and tagging her in some relationship posts. I truly didn't care about that and very quickly forgot they even said something about it. Tom began to add stories hanging out with Sam, which made me uncomfortable at first, but who am I to tell anyone else who they should or shouldn't hang out with? He had been telling me about girls he was interested in, but it never worked out. Months passed and he had different crushes, some of whom liked him, but most ghosted or ignored him. Sam and Tom seemed to have actually become very good friends, maybe best friends at times, and nothing more. Some friends asked me if I wasn't uncomfortable about my best friend and my ex still hanging out. I told them I had no issue with it, and I truly meant it. During this time, I met another girl in July 2023, let's call her Kate, though she only plays a small part in the story. We stayed as friends, then she ghosted me, started talking again in December, only for me to get ghosted again. She came back in June 2024, apologizing for how she treated me, and we actually started to have a very solid relationship after that, thinking we would get married. Both she and my parents were also head over heels with that relationship. Enter December 2024, and Tom comes to me with some news. Sam had found out that I had a new girlfriend and was furious with him because he didn't tell her. After that, she decided to stop being friends with Tom. This time, I did ask him the details because I thought she would be capable of sabotaging my relationship with Kate. In conversation, he told me that there was a short time in which he thought he had feelings for Sam. They talked it over at the time and realized they weren't actually falling for each other and stayed friends. He also apologized because he never asked me how I felt about their relationship. I told him I wasn't mad that they were friends or anything. The only thing that would make me really uncomfortable and make me want to distance myself would be if they became a couple. At the end of our chat, Tom said that he was done with her and wouldn't stand being treated like that. We cheered for that and laughed it off. In February 2025, Kate and I broke up for reasons that don't concern this particular story. Since April, many friends have come up to me to talk about my last breakup, but this subject has been discussed a lot more than I would have expected. Basically, everyone who has been a little involved with my personal life saw some years ago that after Sam and I broke up, Tom and her were flirty. Everyone has been telling me that it's not something a good friend would do, and they may have a point. Still, I defended Tom because I know he is not ill-intended and has had it rough. The fact that he has friends who help him emotionally brings me joy. Also, he was not talking with her, so it didn't matter to anyone. A couple months ago, Tom told me that Sam reached out to him to apologize and ask if they could be friends again. he brushed her off. But something happened that I'm not aware of, and they became friends again. By the way, you guys should be aware that we have full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, whatever your favorite podcast app is, and search up OK Storytime. We have just a little bit left. Yeah, kind of just sounds to me like classic college drama relationships thing.
Bro code being violated.
Yeah.
Not cool, man.
Not cool.
Yeah.
You like just distance yourself from both maybe at that point. If it's really gonna hurt you if he's dating Sam.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that might be, like if other people are still stuck in this kind of high school type drama in college, then it's like maybe you just gotta get away from these people a bit.
I more so just feel even get away from it because it's gonna get messy.
Totally.
You don't want to be in that. We have a little bit left. In conversation, he has mentioned her very lightly as if nothing bad ever happened between them. A girlfriend of mine who somewhat knows Tom highlighted they are now very good friends again and asked me how they are talking if they had argued before. I told my friend it was irrelevant and that I'm happy that he has emotional support. Not that she is the only one, just that it is good that he has her as one. However, this time I feel differently. Maybe it does affect me, but most importantly, I have been thinking that I might be impeding those two from ending up together. I'm actually planning on telling him I want to distance myself from him as long as he's friends with my ex. I don't want to put him in a situation where he has to choose one friendship and drop the other, but I feel like it's what has to be done. Still, I'm not sure if I should do it or if I'm actually making a storm in a glass of water. Would I be the a-hole if I distance myself? And that is the end of that story. And I do not think that you would be.
I don't think so at all.
I think you should.
Yeah, like I feel like if you tried to be involved more than that would be impeding on their relationship. Like I think you being distant and you impeding are two very different things. I feel like they do not.
Yeah.
They cannot happen at the same time.
If your friend and Sam are gonna give it a go, step away and let them give it a go.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
But yeah, I think you're good. I think you can never be blamed for distancing yourself unless it was like, I don't know, you caused a problem and you
and
left.
Then dipped.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like, if anything, like Sam was causing the problem, so just stay away from her.
They're gonna have so much more drama, so you should definitely get out before that happens.
Yeah. But that is the end of that story, and we've got another one.
I was left out of a wedding party, so I backed out.
Did you want to be the bride?
I've had a group of 4 friends since elementary school. The 5 of us have stayed close friends through elementary, middle school, and high school, going to the same schools, and then through separate universities. Separate universities, but we would visit often and stay very close. We are all 26 years old, guys. We are all 26-year-old guys and have been friends for 19 years now. By the way, this comes from Am I the A-hole busy customer? Wait, what? By the way, this comes from Am I the A-hole busy computer? And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We're just guessing what we would do in the situation, but let us know what you would do in the comments. So, OP says, one of the guys in the group, Brandon, is getting married in January. Brandon asked the other 3 guys to be groomsmen in his wedding, alongside his 2 brothers and 2 of his friends from college. This left me, the only homie in the group who wasn't a groomsman. I was upset when I first realized, but I talked to my parents about it, and they reminded me that it's Brandon's wedding, not a group event. He can have who he likes up there, and just because I'm not a groomsman doesn't mean that Brandon doesn't consider me a friend. And that he does, and he already has 7 people up there besides him, which is a lot. My parents are the only ones I ever told that I was upset about it, and now I think I'm pretty well over it. They've had a few groom's party gatherings, like they went for drinks after they got fitted for suits and went golfing together, and Brandon and his fiance had a barbecue for their wedding party. That's always a weird reminder for me. My friends and I usually go on a trip in December to watch a football game. We started the tradition in our first year in university and have been going every year since. It's always just been the 5 of us friends, and we go for like 3 or 4 days. On Tuesday, my 3 friends came to me and wanted to know my opinion on inviting the other groomsmen on the trip as a surprise to Brandon. The 3 of them were all clearly for this idea and really wanted me to say yes. I told them that I wasn't sure, I had to think about it, which was awkward because it was obvious that they thought I was just going to say yes. I spoke to them about it today and said that honestly, I don't want to go on a trip being the only non-groomsman. I know Brandon's brothers and I've met his college friends and they're all cool, but I don't want to be the clear odd man out. I told my friends that they should do it, I just won't go this year. Which was fine for me because I could do with saving some money because I have a separate destination wedding to go in. I told my friends that they should do it. I just won't go this year, which was fine for me because I could do with saving some money because I have a separate destination wedding to go to in February now. The other guys won't invite the other groomsmen if it means that I won't come, but it's clear that they're also annoyed at them not being able to invite them because of me. One of my friends spoke to me separately and he told me that he really thinks I'm not fair or a good friend and asked if it's because I resent not being a groomsman. It feels like any decision I make besides agreeing to go on the trip with the 4 other groomsmen is going to make them mad at me. Am I the a-hole for backing out of the trip if I am going to be the only non-groomsman? And we do have some comments, but what are your thoughts?
Ooh, I'm interested too. I did see the verdict. I won't reveal yet, but I'm very torn on that one because a good part of me is kind of like, you do seem resentful and just a little booty hurt.
Yeah.
And
I think so.
I'm like, yeah, for sure. I can totally understand being like, wow, all of that really hurt.
Yeah.
I feel like we also could have maybe just had a conversation like, hey, I'm really hurt about this.
Exactly.
All this other stuff. But it's like, now they are including you in something because it's your guys' yearly tradition.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't miss out on a yearly tradition just because you were butthurt about the wedding stuff still.
Yeah, it's like you might feel left out about not being the only groomsman, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, at least now you're included. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, okay, maybe they've come around. Like, I think 100% you should still tell them how much that hurt you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a good reason for it. Maybe it was to keep the thing even. Maybe he really wanted you as one.
Yeah. And it was just, unfortunately, you didn't make the cut.
I think it stinks that they didn't invite you to some of the stuff still. Like, you can still include a non-wedding party member.
Totally. My sisters did that.
Yeah. Maybe it would have been more awkward. Maybe it was a money thing.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that overall there needs to be a conversation and like just get it out in the air, but don't miss your tradition.
Exactly.
For this.
It feels like opinions have been made but not talked about.
Right.
Like on all fronts.
Yeah.
We do have some comments. Dear Word 821.
Do you want to read the verdict?
Sure, yeah. And we do have some relevant comments, and the verdict from all of these will present not the a-hole. But Dear Word 8021 says, everyone sucks here. It's rubbish that you're the only one left out of the wedding party, but that's not going to change. Go on the trip with them. Make some new friends with the other groomsmen and just celebrate your friend is getting married. And enjoy the wedding without any responsibilities. Have you talked to the stag about how you feel about being left out? And is there any rationale? For example, did you move away or spend less time with them than the others? Opie says, I didn't talk to Brandon or my other friends about how I felt. I don't want to start any problems or drama in the group. So
you're doing that.
Yeah. So I would not talk to my friends about it. So I would not talk to my other friends about it. At the end of the day, it's Brandon's decision to make. I also never talked to Brandon. Figured it would be lame to ask why he didn't include me. And at the end of the day, he made his decision and I respect it. Also, there's a chance that I wouldn't want to hear his answer. I don't think anything would be gained by finding out that he thinks of me as a lesser friend, for example. So I don't know the rationale, and honestly at this point I try not to think about what reasons it could be because I think it would be at the risk of inventing a problem in my head between us if I did that. I've known since June, so at this point I wouldn't bring it up either way. Too late to ask, in my opinion. Yeah, real quick.
I agree that everyone kind of sucks in this story.
Yeah.
I was definitely leaning more to that than not the a-hole.
Yeah.
Because you could have had that conversation. Like,
yeah.
At the point where you're not having the conversation, you're just stewing on it and you're gonna miss out on those other things. You are putting yourself in that position.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you still can have that conversation. Like, you're literally contradicting yourself.
Right.
And it's so weird to see because you're like, yeah, I don't know what the rationale is. I don't know why I'm doing this, but like it might have something to do with the fact that I'm really sad, and I also
Right.
don't want to ask a question because I don't know. I think the answer will make me more sad.
Right. He's like, I'm going to continue to overthink about what the answer could be,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to ask, so I'm just going to stay in my head about what the answer could be.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're being so avoidant because clearly, I mean, conversation does not come easy to you, which is okay. Like, I understand that, but it's not gonna get any better, and yeah, you just kind of refusing to go to the trip if it's gonna be a groomsman thing, and then also not talking about it. Like, your emotions are coming off either way. People know how you feel.
Right. They're
So
seeing it still.
just talk about it. It doesn't need to be like, yo, why didn't you make me a groomsman? Just be like, hey, like, just wanted to, I know we just never talked about it. I just want to get it out in the clear.
Right.
Like
it's been in my head a little bit. Like, can we just talk about it?
Was there a reason? Like, let me know.
Like, make sure I didn't do anything, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's and
it would be so simple.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, honestly, like, yeah, it's his wedding, but if it hurts you, it hurts you. You don't need to like not be hurt just because it's his wedding.
It can still hurt you, but it is still his decision.
Yeah, exactly. It's like both can happen. Right on Moa says, not the a-hole. Say the others should definitely attend. Say you'll still go. Then have a last minute issue crop up that means you have to cancel nearer the time.
Oh,
don't do that. I understand your feelings are hurt, and unfortunately it's hard to imagine your friendship with these guys and the groom remaining the same now. It seems really strange to have such a big wedding party but leave you out of it. I don't blame you if you do feel resentful. And OP says, dang, I would hate to lose my friends over this. And we do have an update.
If you don't talk to them,
you're
gonna.
You're kind of, yeah, because you're contributing to it.
Right. If you don't have that conversation, you'll just keep backing out of going to things. You're going to lose the friendship.
It's literally going to be like a Goob from Meet the Robinsons like situation.
And everyone hated me.
When they're all like, hey, let's hang out. Yeah, and it's like you're going to just assume all of these things and then make all these decisions based off the assumptions that are just going to end up being you pushing them away.
Yeah.
But we do have an update 6 weeks later. I am going to go on the trip.
Yay!
Thank goodness. Oh my God. And I told them that they could invite the other guys. We leave tomorrow. 3 of the 4 other groomsmen are coming. One of Brandon's brothers can't make it. Truthfully, I don't really know if it's a happy update or not. They weren't going to invite the other guys after I said no, so it would have just been us. But I told them that they could. I guess I just didn't feel like being on the trip and them holding a grudge and things being awkward because I said no. And I would hold a grudge. And things would be really awkward if you didn't listen to full episodes of stories just like this one. Just go to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. All awkwardness can fizzle away. Please. But yeah, there's a little bit more to the story, but thank goodness.
Yeah, I do fear it still hasn't been talked about.
Yeah, I really don't think it has.
So my advice would still be to do that, but I'm glad you're going on the trip.
Yeah.
And that things seem to maybe the trip will just go so well that you'll like get over it kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you feel even a twinge of that still, you have to talk about it.
Yeah, because you said you got over it, but I don't think you have.
I don't think you have.
I think you just pushed it away.
I think we're lying to ourselves.
Yeah. But there's a little bit more to the story. I was clearly going to go on the trip before they decided to invite the others, so I couldn't really honestly say that I wasn't going to save money. And maybe I said yes just to avoid anyone being mad at me. I don't know. I am actually going to room with Brandon's brother. I'm actually going to room with Brandon's brother that is coming. He is cool, so I don't really mind that. Hopefully the trip goes well. And there are some comments. I'm just going to jump right in.
Yeah.
Comment number 1 says, I really wonder what happened after the wedding. It feels like OP is on his way out as a group friend, and as they all start settling down, it'll be harder to maintain these dynamics anyway. Someone else responds, this was my thought. This very much feels like the other 4 are much closer than OP ever realized, and he's the afterthought. Dang. The fact that not one of them even felt the need to address the elephant in the room is quite telling. OP could have easily enjoyed OP could have easily joined in several of the group activities while not being a groomsman. They clearly wanted him excluded. I imagine he would have excluded from the trip. I imagine he would have been excluded from the trip if they could have managed it while still saving face. Dang, there's a lot of assumptions here. But there are no more comments from OP, so I'm just gonna, yeah. But that's the end of that story.
Well.
Yeah, I think those comments were definitely jumping to things. Like,
Yeah.
maybe he was. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that stuff happened, but I don't
Right.
think we have enough evidence.
Yeah. I could see it going that direction if he doesn't have the conversation.
Yes.
I don't think we're there currently.
OP just really doesn't have, like, a grasp on his emotions at all, it seems.
At the beginning, I really thought he did. And then
Yeah.
I was like, wow, you don't.
Yeah, you really don't. Like,
You really don't.
There's so many I don't knows when you just clearly say the right answer. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Don't second guess yourself.
yeah, like you said, what was it? Yeah, I don't know. You're saying things like, well, maybe I felt this way. Maybe I did this because of that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, okay,
It's like you did.
I think you do know
Yeah.
that you did. There was something else I was going to say. I don't remember. Oh, yeah. The part where you say, truthfully, I don't know if it's a happy update or not. So you don't know if you're like happy about the situation or not. Like, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, dude,
Like, we really need to talk out these emotions.
we really do. Self-reflect. It's okay to talk with your emotions to other people. It's okay to have emotions that are of resentment and offense and like all of that stuff, and it's totally okay. And moving on from something doesn't mean just, not like giving the moving on doesn't mean just forgetting about the problems and how it makes you feel.
Yeah, talk about
pushing them away. Yeah, you still feel it, so you're not over it.
That is the end of that story.
My husband let his family move into my house, and now they walk all over me.
Get him out of there.
This has been bothering me since 2024, and I am seeking out if I, 28 female, am going crazy, or the a-hole that my husband and his family are accusing me of, or I am the a-hole and I am seeking out if I, 28 female, am going crazy, or am the a-hole that my husband and his family are accusing me of being. 2024 was a major bad year. My husband, 39, call him John, convinced my sister-in-law, 33, her husband, 37, call him George, and my mother-in-law, 65, to move into my house from New York to Texas when they were expecting a newborn to be closer to family and help them save money for a house. By the way, this comes from Intrapella, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, we agreed on certain conditions. Their cat, I'm highly allergic, would stay in a gated area. They'd take the spaces, 2 guest rooms, master room, upstairs game, living room, and they'd pay $2,500 monthly rent, utilities included, far less than their $6,000 apartment in New York. This arrangement was decided despite me paying the mortgage and utilities entirely on my own. I grew up with the my house, my rules mentality, so I set basic expectations. Keep the house clean, respect the furniture. I had just purchased new pieces, and don't disturb my workplace. I work from home in the living room. John left 2 months after they moved in due to a job 6 hours away, and I was left alone to manage the household. Immediate no.
Nope.
What? I'm sorry. Your husband was just like, yeah, they're moving into the house, and I'm out of here. Bye. No. When my sister-in-law, super pregnant at the time, and George first moved in, I told them basic expectations about maintaining the house and avoiding property damage. I noticed George was making a mess, and my sister-in-law was cleaning after him while she was pregnant and hurting. This bothered me, so I called him out on how he shouldn't make his wife do all this. I specifically called him out when he was laying on the couch and told her to fetch the massage device in the room when my sister-in-law felt super uncomfortable. My sister-in-law was still working from home, and her husband recently quit his job. I'm
my
sorry, he
God.
recently quit his job while his wife was pregnant? I would divorce this man. He does day trading instead, but not making much money, and then plays games like Counter-Strike and chess on his computer. I would divorce this man. If I'm still working and pregnant, and my husband is not working, quit his job, and playing games, done. George complained about no Ethernet port upstairs. Then he opened the window and put out a long Ethernet cable to the master room that was located downstairs. Upon the electrician's arrival to install the Ethernet that he's paying for, they made loud noises and disturbed my sister-in-law and my work. Sister-in-law was furious about it. The electrician informed me that my attic has hornets,
Hey.
so I had to pause my work and called for an emergency pest control. Once that was dealt with, the electrician showed me a picture that the attic was missing a big chunk of insulation. So I had to deal with the home builder to refill since I was still in warranty. While I was working in the living room around 10:30 a.m., I had my meeting call. George comes down and makes a lot of disturbance and noise while cooking in the kitchen. I kindly asked him if he would refrain from cooking when I'm on a call, and it only takes 30 minutes. It didn't happen as much, but his action relapsed over time. I didn't notice, but he created a big grease stain on the kitchen cabinet because he constantly cooked bacon on high heat. No! I told both my sister-in-law and him to be careful next time. I was highly upset since we just got this house 3 months ago.
Jeez.
While they were using the Tesla, I noticed they'd already ruined the car with a curb rash. No. I didn't tell my husband because I know he'll be pissed, but I had to cover $400 out of pocket to get it fixed. Tell your husband.
No, it was his idea for them to move in.
Yeah, tell your husband.
Tell your husband.
Tell your husband. It's not your fault. I also made an appointment to do a PPF wrap cover to prevent any further damage that cost me $3,000 out of pocket. Additionally, the car developed significant tar damage, costing another $400 to fix. George just said, okay, and never offered to pay. I've noticed he constantly uses the Tesla and kept using the tollway that I paid for and racking up the toll. Dude, literally just say you cannot touch the car. You cannot use the car.
Or pay the tolls if you're gonna.
I complained to my husband about it, and now I'm annoyed with George not respecting the house and the car we just bought. I also told him that I don't like how her husband is not treating her right while she's pregnant. This is all less than 1 month after moving in. My mother-in-law moved into the guest room to help out with the upcoming baby. I noticed she was cleaning up George's mess and tiptoeing around him not to disturb him while he was day trading or screaming his lungs out when he lost his Counter-Strike game. I was not okay that my mother-in-law was cleaning up George's mess all the time when she's there as a guest to relax until the baby comes. Not do house chores. This guy stinks. The cat peed on my couch, and George didn't clean it properly. He just dabbed it with a paper towel and called it a day. He said,
That's
it's good.
fixed, right?
It's good. It dried.
Ew.
It actually air dries, so I don't have to do anything about that. No! I was in the middle of a work meeting and didn't have time to explain how to clean it properly. So I handed him the Bissell machine and told him, Bissell machine? I don't know. Bissell? Okay. Bissell machine and told him to follow the instructions. Instead of reading them, he made the situation worse. After my call, I checked his work and the couch was still dirty. This wasted 1 to 2 hours of my work time. 4 days later, the cat peed on the couch again. This time, my mother-in-law sat on it. While in another work meeting, she informed me, and I paused my call to tell George to clean it immediately, since it was a biohazard. He ignored me, saying he'd do it later, even though he was just day trading for fun. And then you say no. You say, I'm sorry, you're in my house?
Clean it right now.
You are living in my house? Clean it now.
Yeah.
Or get out.
I do feel like, OP, you need to be a little bit stricter with this.
Yes.
They are terrible.
Yeah.
Lay down the law.
Lay down the law. 10 minutes passed, and mother-in-law had to clean part of it herself. I confronted him again, but he still refused to act. Mother-in-law went upstairs to explain the urgency, and I overheard George rudely ask her to clean it instead. His tone infuriated me. I went upstairs, yelled at him, and told him not to disrespect mother-in-law or expect her to handle his responsibilities. I broke down and told my husband what had happened. Instead of supporting me, he said my reaction was childish and asked me to apologize to George. I acknowledged that yelling wasn't ideal, but I'd given George multiple chances, and his dismissive attitude, especially towards mother-in-law, was unacceptable. I'm upset that my husband sided with his family instead of understanding my frustration. Why is my work treated as less important while George's hobbies are prioritized? Eventually, I apologized to George just to keep the peace, even though I still feel he was in the wrong. He never apologized back to mother-in-law or acknowledged his behavior. The whole situation left me feeling dismissed and disrespected in my own home. Over time, George continued pushing boundaries. He kept his day trading set up in the upstairs living room and would scream at his games well into the night. My sister-in-law gave birth in early June, and the house became even more chaotic. I tried to be understanding about the baby crying, but George's behavior didn't change. He still expected everyone else to clean up after him and do things for him while he sat at his computer.
Wow, you guys got 2 babies now.
2 babies. The cat continued to be a problem. Despite the agreement that it would stay in a gated area, it kept getting out and wandering around the house. My allergies were getting worse. I found cat hair on my furniture and had to keep taking allergy medication just to be comfortable in my own home. I brought this up multiple times, but nothing changed. I was also dealing with work stress. I had been laid off from my previous job and was doing interviews while trying to maintain the household. The constant interruptions from George's cooking, gaming, and general loudness made it incredibly difficult to focus during important calls. I felt like I couldn't even work effectively in my own home. My husband was still 6 hours away for work and would only visit occasionally. Every time I tried to talk to him about the issues, he would minimize my concerns or tell me I was being too sensitive. Nope. So at that point, we're kicking them out. We're divorcing your husband.
It's so hard because
done.
for so much of it, it was like, well, you don't want to kick him out
Yeah.
because of the baby and
Yeah.
everything. And it's like,
She can
sister-in-law's
stay.
being great.
Sister-in-law can stay. I'd be like, hey, girl, if you want to stay, your husband's a piece of poop, a lazy little butt.
Yeah.
You can stay. Your husband's gone. My husband's gone. I am on the lease. I paid the mortgage.
Let's have a girly pop
Yeah.
house.
Oh, no. He kept saying his family was just trying to save money and that I should be more accommodating. But I was the one paying all the bills, dealing with all the problems, and getting no support. George's family came to visit. I halted some of my interview prep and toured them around Austin. My husband came around the end of July to visit, but then I got an emergency message from my family that my grandpa was in the hospital, and that was critical. I booked my flight back to California when I had the biggest tech opportunity I needed to prep. I was in and out of the hospital for 2 weeks, dealing with 15 interviews. I didn't have a space or room to interview anyone, anywhere. I didn't have a space or room to interview anywhere, and my immediate family does not know I was laid off. At that point, I'm literally saying, hey, husband, I got laid off because of your family.
Right. Can you get back here, please, and do something? Where was he again?
I don't know. He has like a job 6 hours away.
Jeez. Okay.
Within the second week, my family and I witnessed his last breath in the hospital. My family and I hurried to figure out last-minute funeral arrangements. I paid out $20,000 of the $90,000 for the funeral. After the funeral, more family drama unraveled. I was able to get a job offer, but it was much lower income than I had had in the past, but it was better than nothing. I flew back and had 1 week break to recover. I was in a super depressed state and overwhelmed with a lot of things. I didn't want to be bothered and just wanted to recover in my bedroom for a bit. Between the funeral costs, the car repairs, helping my husband with his house emergency, and continuing to pay all the household bills while my in-laws lived there, my savings were depleting rapidly. I was more stressed financially about taking a big chunk of my savings, so I ended up signing up for the energy program, where the energy provider controls the thermostat for rebates. It saves about $100 per month. My in-laws were complaining about the temperature of the house to my husband. My husband messaged me at the time, but I was so depressed that I didn't respond to anyone or leave my room for 2 to 3 days.
Girl,
Then,
you gotta tell
wow.
your husband.
Yeah. Get them out. Then my husband blew up on me on the phone, and I explained I'm not controlling the thermostat. He said the baby is sweating and I should cancel the rebate immediately. But I said that it will take time and I have to wait until the next business day. My husband calls me materialistic and unwilling to prioritize family comfort.
Beyond, I will say, beyond family comfort,
Yeah.
babies being too hot
Yeah.
is really bad.
Really bad. Yes, I agree with that. But
So maybe they should just get
Yeah.
out.
yeah, or maybe pay. Maybe
Or
you pay.
Yeah.
I think my husband and I agreed to a divorce at this point, and I just stopped caring because I'm really in deep depression and
Aw.
rock bottom. I didn't even feel safe within my own home. My husband finally suggested that he'll take over and cover the electricity bill. This only lasted 2 months. We talked it out, and I cried a lot because I felt through all this year, because of how I felt through all this year, and I felt how unfair it was. My husband was gaslighting me that I was the problem and the fault, and did not take accountability that his emotional response by blowing this out of proportion caused all this problem in the first place. Out of frustration, I told him I gave up my dreams to support his dream. I thought we initially agreed to move to Seattle soon, but I got stuck living in Texas, which I was super unhappy about. He was super dismissive that I was selfish and I never sacrificed anything. Divorce. Yes, I'm dumb for taking him back. I originally planned to give away my Lexus to my siblings to use for college. They needed a reliable car. My brother had been asking before we bought the Tesla. I told my husband that I wanted to give my Lexus away, but I couldn't since the Tesla is his car. My sister-in-law and George had 3 months to look for a car. They barely looked until the last 2 weeks. Eventually, I shipped the Lexus and I used the Tesla as my daily drive to work. My sister-in-law and George got a brand new Tesla Model 3. They bought a brand new Tesla Model 3 and they can't freaking rent out an apartment?
Ay, ay, ay.
I've noticed they barely drive their car and are extra careful, but literally do not give a crap about our Tesla. This double standard bothered me immensely. They treated their own property with care, but had no respect for mine. At this timeline, my husband had a house problem back in Dallas and didn't have the savings to fix the water damage. I gave him $10,000 because that is an emergency fund that I allocated for. Meanwhile, I was still paying the full mortgage and utilities while only receiving $2,500 from my in-laws. Within a month, I started focusing on myself and improving my mental health. I went to work overtime. I started going to the gym every day, leaving me Saturday to run errands and Sunday as my only rest day. My mother-in-law was not living with us, so the whole month with my sister-in-law and George, it was normal. It was going well, and my relationship with my husband was better.
Okay.
My mother-in-law came back again, staying with us to help out watching the baby since my sister-in-law is returning to work in October. And when I started my new job, I told everyone that the company I worked for is very private and secretive. I work from home on Monday and Friday. The living room is actually off limits since they're not allowed to see my monitor screens or hear me when I'm discussing in meetings. Nice.
Go OP.
Yeah, sorry, you actually can't come in because you'll get arrested.
Super top secret.
Sorry. The company I worked for monitors everything on my work laptop. I got slapped on the wrist the first week when my manager noticed someone was in the background. Can we work in our bedroom?
I don't know.
I told the same scenario to my mother-in-law. She acknowledged. But the following week, she went to the living room with the baby. My husband came down to visit the family and me again for the short holiday weekend. Out of nowhere, my mother-in-law said she doesn't feel respected in the house and blamed me for being disrespectful. My sister-in-law and George were like, "What the F is mother-in-law talking about?" My husband did not listen and said I was being selfish. Divorce this man.
Yeah, we're so back and forth with this dude.
Divorce
What the
this
heck?
stinky man. He stinks.
Stinky.
My mother-in-law mentioned about the living room, and I've been telling everyone the reason it's off limits while I was working. My husband blew up that I was being a witch and a dictator. I was so fed up and tired having this conversation again, and I blurted out, "Do you want a divorce then?" in front of his family. Yes, I want you to have a divorce. Have a divorce.
I want these people to get out of your house.
Please,
At this
get them
point,
out
I'm
of your
like,
house.
girl, get out of leave the house for the husband. Get out.
Get out of there. Get out of there. He packed up, left the house, and drove back down. When I was discussing with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law and George, there was a whole misunderstanding. It was hours of conversation. My mother-in-law was telling me how come I don't spend time with the family. Hello, I just got back from being laid off, witnessing a passing right in front of me, and I'm heads down working and don't have time. And also, she doesn't like you. Obi just doesn't like you people.
Yeah.
She keeps invalidating my responses. My sister-in-law and I explained to my mother-in-law I am an introvert and I stay in the room to recover. She said she feels better spending time with family. I'm super exhausted from this conversation. What pisses me off is when she says, "This is John's house." I explained to the family it's not, because I paid for this with my own money and he never contributed to anything since day one. Kick them out. Kick them out.
Get him out of here, dude. Come on. Why are we still doing this?
Let's not dilly-dally. I had paid the down payment. I paid the mortgage every month. I pay all the utilities. I pay for repairs and maintenance. My husband hasn't contributed a single dollar to this house. Yet somehow his family felt entitled to dictate how I should run it and make me feel like a guest in my own home. They tried to lecture me like this is family and it's wrong to implement rules. And I told them I put rules because y'all are ruining my property. I worked super hard for it. My in-laws started gaslighting me that I never told them the rules about my new job and the space is off limits when I'm working. Stop lying. Why are you always lying? I had told them multiple times, but they acted like I never said anything. At this point, I was ganged up about the car. I had the plan since the beginning before my in-laws moved to give it away. George starts invalidating my family's upbringing and dissing them and me in front of my face. George is super privileged. He grew up with his parents paying for everything. George brought up the cat pee incident, and I was being a crybaby and being rude. I explained to my sister-in-law what happened, and she agreed that he shouldn't have asked mother-in-law to do it. I was surprised that my mother-in-law ganged up and defended George, that his stock exchange was more important than my job.
Oh my God.
His not job is more important than her job?
Yeah, him playing video games is more important than her job.
This was the final straw. My actual career, which was paying for the roof over their heads, was considered less important than George playing with stocks for fun. I feel like my efforts to accommodate my in-laws have been dismissed and my sacrifices have gone unrecognized. My husband has consistently prioritized his family's needs over mine, leaving me feel unsupported and disrespected in my own home. The repeated conflicts and lack of accountability from my in-laws and husband have taken a toll on my mental health. By the way, it would take a toll on your health if you didn't listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
It's true.
There is a little bit left to this story.
I just need you to get these people out of your
Get
house
them
already.
out of your house.
They're not listening. They're being so disrespectful.
Exorcism.
They're like weirdly sometimes agreeing with you
Yeah.
and then completely changing their minds.
It's so strange.
And
Get
your
them out.
husband's
Divorce your
ex-husband
husband.
sucks. Whatever he is
Sucks.
now.
There's a little bit left. The in-laws moved out of the house to a new house they bought a block from my house. Apparently, they had over $100,000 down deposit sitting there already. They already had the money.
What?
While I was panicking on my end and dealing with my husband's debt. I'm becoming resentful and would just like to get a divorce and get it over. Do you think this relationship is salvageable at this point?
No.
Am I wasting effort and energy trying to convince my husband to make him understand my POV and what's unfair?
Yep.
I tried I tried couples therapy in the past, but he does not like that idea and unwilling to participate. Then dump him.
Get him out of there.
Get him out of there.
Get everybody out of your house.
Get him out of your house.
It's insane.
I don't know why they're still there. If they had the money, they could have moved.
The money that whole time.
Yeah, I hate these people. But that's the end of that story. And we've got another one coming right up.
My husband and I have been married 6 months, and I already want out.
Dang, that was quick.
I'm seriously struggling with my marriage and my relationship with my husband. We've been together for 4 years at this point and married for about 6 months. We rushed getting engaged and married because I had found out I was pregnant last October.
There it is.
By the way, this comes from Dynamite Trex, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, there was a lot of pressure from my family to get engaged and married before the baby was born, and unfortunately we caved to that pressure. We had talked about marriage and getting engaged before that point. We had a pretty solid relationship. I would say prior to the pregnancy and baby being born, I'm realizing now we never had any of the hard conversations. We would fight here and there, but we never sat down and figured out a lot of the important stuff, like finances, future goals, things like that. A lot of that I had thought we would figure out as we went because, yeah, it was a few years at that point, but he was never the type of person to have that kind of conversation. I would get one-word answers here and there when I brought it up. I thought we would sit down and talk about it and figure it all out once we got engaged. Part of me talked myself into thinking that was a normal thing to do. I am now learning it's not. Don't get me wrong, we knew where we both stood on kids and on the next 5 years. But past that, I can't remember major conversations where I actually got a lot of input. I think that should have been my first red flag. I've taken care of everything pretty much our entire relationship. I was the one who took out a mortgage to buy our house. I used my entire savings for the down payment. I paid and managed all of our shared expenses and bills. I was the primary one to cook meals, grocery shop, and meal plan or prep. I was the one who basically paid for and put on my credit cards all of our furniture for the house. I was the one to handle anything with our dogs, like vet visits, getting them scheduled, grooming, kennel arrangements when we went on trips. I scheduled, managed, paid for it all. I was the one who maintained cleaning and organizing our home. I was the one who decorated for all the holidays, tried to make sure we had gifts for everyone for Christmas, birthdays, wrapped all the gifts, and so on. His main responsibilities were garbage and laundry. That's primarily it. He covered takeout and dinners here and there. My entire pregnancy was tough, really tough. I didn't know what to expect, but I was very sick during my first trimester and had some bleeding here and there that really scared me. I was considered high risk because of some ongoing health issues, and things got harder again during my third trimester when I became sick all over again and started having early labor symptoms that wouldn't stop.
Dang, he's going through it.
In the end, I had to have an emergency C-section because of the baby's size, preeclampsia, and those same health concerns.
Dang.
On top of all of that, I was trying to plan a wedding. My job's busy season was picking up more than ever, and there were house problems I was dealing with on my own. It was just a lot happening all at once. I was constantly stressed and exhausted. All I really wanted was some comfort and to feel cared for, especially after years taking care of him and everything else for us. But that comfort never really came. The house got messier and messier when I couldn't clean it. The dishes would pile up in the sink unless I did them. I had to remind him to take out the garbage or swap the laundry.
You shouldn't be having to parent, your husband when you're about to be parents.
This is way too much.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
If I didn't cook. We just ate out. So our expenses both rose from all of the takeout. If I asked for something simple, like a blanket while I was laying on the couch or a glass of water, I was met with a huge sigh and a frustrated sounding, yeah, fine.
Nope.
He claims that never happened. These are just a few examples, but the point is, I wanted to feel taken care of because my life didn't slow down when things got hard and I felt like I was doing everything.
You are. If he's not cooking for you while you're pregnant and every time you don't cook, you guys order out,
And you're
then he's
paying
not
for
taking
it?
Yeah, and he's not taking care of you. Learn how to freaking cook, dude.
The issues just built up. It really made me see him differently. We started couples counseling before the baby was born, and it felt like he didn't want to be there. He would barely participate. And then afterward, he would be silent on the drive home because he didn't like what I had to say or what I thought or brought up. Fast forward to when my baby boy was born. He was helpful in the hospital and for the first week home, but after that, it was an immediate downhill fall to me doing everything. Girl, you had a baby a week ago.
Yeah, come on.
Yes, I know moms take on most of the responsibilities when baby is born, but it felt like 100% me and 0% him.
I believe you. I don't know. He's like trying to like be like, yeah, I know,
No.
people probably say no.
This is beyond
He's in the
normal.
wrong.
He's not doing anything.
Anything.
I was still cooking, cleaning, grocery shopping, ordering the takeout, changing most of the diapers, up all night with the baby, doing all nighttime feedings and changes, and working here and there during my maternity leave.
No.
Because I work for my family and had to take care of things while I was out. I still took care of all the shared expenses. I took on getting things we needed for the baby, like formula and diapers. I was combo feeding the baby and trying to make breastfeeding work, but I wasn't producing enough milk, so I had to do both. I definitely slipped on taking care of myself because there was just too much to do. He would get home from work and just sit right on the couch and not ask if I needed anything or to take care of the baby.
Yeah, this is over. I mean, OP, like, you're paying for things.
Yeah.
He's not helping. Like, maybe he's contributing some finances,
Yeah.
but, like, he would still be doing that if you guys divorced.
If he
Wouldn't have to
doesn't
deal
want to
with
be
them.
doing the things physically, he at least needs to be paying somebody to do them.
Yes.
So that it takes it off of your workload.
Absolutely.
Some days he wouldn't even come look at him. Oh. He
Ugh.
barely did anything once he got home with him. And it seemed like a hassle anytime I asked for anything.
No.
Even just to hold him so I could
Ugh.
go to the bathroom. I would come back and the baby would be in the swing some of the time.
No.
I would go out with my mom to get our nails done or walk around Target for an hour once every 2 weeks for a little break. And he would be asking when I was coming home or making it seem that I had been gone for so long. I've spoken about all of my feelings, which is really hard for me to do. A prior awful relationship made me feel like I couldn't. Every time I speak up about my feelings or how I'm frustrated or upset with the imbalance, it turns into an argument or the conversation is turned back on me. Like I'm the one doing things wrong, which is incredibly frustrating. Currently, I'm back to work and I bring my baby with me and work and watch him at the same time. I am extremely lucky to be able to do that. It's not easy, but I make it work. I'm still responsible for everyone and everything. I'm still the only parent that gets up in the middle of the night with my son. The icing on the cake was the other night when I was in tears in the closet because none of my clothes fit me right after having the baby.
Aww.
It's been a huge struggle for me. We were supposed to go out, we had a babysitter, and it was supposed to be a fun night. I got really upset that nothing fit, or I didn't know how to dress my new body. I felt very vulnerable. He came in and hugged me and was trying to comfort me. Then, a minute later, as I'm in tears, he turns it back to himself. He says something's wrong with him and then tries to initiate spicy things.
I hate you. Him, not you. Him.
Yeah.
I hate him.
I stopped him because I clearly was not in the mood and he got upset with me. He couldn't even be there fully in a super vulnerable moment for me. I just don't know if I can see myself in this relationship for the rest of my life.
Then don't stay in it.
Get out of there.
Get out of it. Yeah.
I can't keep being the only one doing everything all the time. I am not the only adult. By the way, I know something that you could be doing all the time, and that's listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, whatever your favorite podcast app is, and search up OK Storytime.
Do it.
Yeah, why aren't you doing it?
Why aren't you doing it right now?
Right now. We'll finish the story first.
Yeah.
But then.
Yeah. I mean, OP, you've talked to him about it, and he just doesn't know how to listen. He's a little baby man. He goes, la 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 la.
Man.
I can't hear you.
You have to take care of him more than your newborn from the sounds of it. Crazy. I just worry about my son. I don't want a divorced parent life for him, being split between us both.
But do you want a life where his father just shows him that it's fine to never help your wife out and just be a lazy bum all the time?
We want to raise a cool son.
Yeah.
Not a poopy son.
Yeah.
Well, he's pooping now because he's a newborn, but
It's true.
I want a happy, loving home where both of his parents are present 24/7. Or wait, it's past tense. I wanted a happy, loving home where both of his parents were present 24/7. I think I'm making this post for advice. What would you do in my scenario? Would you stay or leave? We have some comments, but
I would leave.
I would leave.
Would leave. You don't
He's
deserve
not
this.
willing to, even after therapy.
Yeah.
And you've voiced your concerns.
That's it. That's all you can do.
Get out. We have a comment. I understand you wanting a happy home, but I don't think your husband is capable of providing that. He is a weak man. He maybe not know how to be. He might not know how to be a good husband and father, but he isn't even trying. I don't think this is the life he wants. If he wanted it, it would move. I don't think. If he wanted it, he would move heaven and earth for you and his son. Your son deserves a happy, safe home. You can provide that for him. Maybe there is a wonderful man out there who will be a great stepdad. Your family can step in as well to be good role models.
Yeah.
And that is the end of that story.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
This won't be a happy home for your
No,
son if
no.
this is what he's dealing with.
You can still make a happy home for your son.
Yeah.
Just without this useless guy.
Yeah, with you and your son.
Yeah. But that's the end of that story.
My husband abandoned me for his ex, and now he wants my property.
You don't get that.
So I am 35 female, and my husband is 39 male. We have been married for 5 years. Before marrying me, he was with his high school sweetheart for a decade. Apparently, they had compatibility issues and then lost contact. Now his ex has kidney failure and is on dialysis and has come to our city for treatment. And according to my husband, she contacted him through a mutual friend. By the way, this comes from Ambient. Oh, I got it.
Oh, am I being weird? Am I being...
By the way, this comes from Am I Being Weird? And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Angie.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, now my husband wants to help her. Very politely, I asked my husband, does she not have her own people that can help and nurse her? Why contact him all of a sudden after years? My husband was pissed and said, how could I be so petty and immature regarding a patient, asking such stupid questions, and that he expected better from me. Then I said, if the situation is so dire, then let's get her a place in our flat in another locality, and if he was so adamant, then let's finance her nursing facility. What is the need to get personally involved like a nurse? I said I do not want to get involved in personally nursing his ex or in her medical recovery process, nor do I want to go see her in the hospital with him. My husband said he was just disappointed in me, that I was showing jealousy over a long-ended relationship and could not show maturity even with a patient. So am I the a-hole? And we do have an update.
Oh. Well,
What
do you?
What say you?
I don't know. That was such an early question.
I feel like I'm cautiously saying both sides are semi-right.
Yeah.
I know that's like, I want to be cautious about that, but it's like,
sure.
yes, I think that if it makes OP uncomfortable and
Yeah.
there are so many alternate options
Yeah.
that she presented, that she was like, let's do this, 100%. At the same time, it's like, if he can do it,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But they've been out of contact for so long.
Right.
And it's just kind of weird. And I don't agree with like, well, you have to come see her in the hospital with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's weird demands, but it like, a part of me gets it because it's like someone's sick.
Yeah. Exactly. I feel like we need more information.
Yeah.
This is too early in the story
Okay,
to ask
okay.
that.
We'll get some more information.
Okay.
Let's do it. Update. I tried to have another conversation with my husband, and my parents are soon visiting my house, but I don't think we've made any progress. I talked pretty politely that it is very unfair to me and my boys. I have 2 3-year-old twins, that he is unwilling to be an emotional support tool to an ex. That he is willing to be an emotional support tool to an ex and is so heck bent on being at her side. Caring about acquaintances is a different thing, but offering things like being an emotional support tool or caretaker should be exclusive to one's spouse. I don't agree with that. I think that you can certainly be a caretaker for a friend.
Absolutely.
Or any other family member.
Just someone taking
Not
care
just a spouse.
Yeah.
Yes, it's weird that she reached back out to him, but maybe she doesn't have anybody.
Yeah. Maybe.
I think that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
If she doesn't have anybody, just let him do it for a little bit, as
Right.
long as it's not crazy.
Yeah.
If she has a ton of people, no.
And she's just like, oh, but I want this guy.
right. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
It's weird time.
Offering it to any third party, even if it's a platonic female friend, will be the foundation of an emotional affair, let alone offering it to an ex. Interesting. I think you're a little insecure now. He told me that it is tragic that I don't trust him, even after being together for 9 years. We dated for 4 years and have been married for 5. And accused me of having an affair. He said it is natural for people to care about their loved ones and acquaintances, especially when they are sick. And being an emotional support tool, being a caretaker, or being at someone's side is the bare minimum one can do, and does not automatically translate into an emotional affair. He said it is sad that I am so narrow-minded that I am taking offense at him being personally involved with his ex. Ideally, he said, I should have volunteered to help his ex, visited her, consoled her, and shown some empathy instead of being an insecure person.
Well, I don't know. She didn't know her. Like,
Right.
that feels weird.
I said, I'm not negating the fact that we should help a sick person, and we get nurses and doctors involved and assist financially. But you offering emotional intimacy to her does not go down my throat. He once again said, tossing just money to a sick person is so cold-hearted on your part, and a patient needs to see that people are available for her. To which I said, I'm not obliged to be available for her, nor are you. Nobody will blame you for not taking responsibility for your ex's life troubles. He cut me in between and said what a selfish take that was, and how he would be selfish to not respond properly, and that he would be selfish to not respond properly to a person asking for help. Then one of my twins woke up and our conversation ended. We have an update too.
Oh boy.
I'm still very torn.
Yeah.
Because it is getting weird how much he wants to help.
I agree. But it's also like, I think it depends like how he helps. Like, I wouldn't call it emotional cheating.
I think it would also depend what him and ex's relationship was like.
Yes.
Why they ended, how they ended.
Yeah. Was she like the ex? Where it's like we would have gotten married if this one thing
was
wasn't
she
there?
devastated and tried to get him back for years?
Did you end on like good terms, bad terms?
Right. What was the situation here? What is the rest of her situation as far as like friends and family?
Yeah.
We need more details, OP. Come on.
Definitely need more details. I feel like it would only go into an emotional affair if he was like, because being a caretaker, it's like, okay, yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
you know, getting them the food they need, getting them the medicine they need, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, if you were like, you know, holding her hand after like a long day and like, I'm there for you,
Yeah,
darling.
that's weird.
Yeah, it's like that. There, you can definitely cross a
Right.
line there. Like, there's a way that nurses and doctors keep that professional line.
Right.
So I feel like he could do at least something similar.
I would like to think. And if you're that concerned, maybe like go to the hospital the first time with your husband. I know
Yeah.
you don't want to.
Right.
Intro yourself to her, and
Yeah.
maybe you'll want to have conversation with her or something.
Yeah.
I know it's a weird situation. I
Totally.
get it. No one
Totally.
wants to be near the ex, but
Yeah.
like you have to take into account the sick part.
Exactly.
Update 2. A lot has happened, and I feel kind of numb and dumb. So, as most of you expected, my husband and I are getting divorced.
What?
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
His ex, who has kidney failure and is on dialysis, did not reach out only because she needed help. She reached out because she wanted him back.
Okay. There we go.
There we
See?
go.
Like, now, you know, I'm not gonna. I don't even feel like eating my words or anything. It just
I
feels like,
don't.
see, now we have more evidence.
Right. We got the evidence we needed. And
Now
I
we
think
can
that-
make that decision.
Yeah. And you could have, and you did, played it cautious until we had that.
True.
It was just like the immediate accusations I wasn't down for
Exactly,
with
same.
a partner of so long kind
Yeah,
of thing. Even
I
with a
agree.
short-term partner. She reached out. Oh, I read that. Her illness is real, but her intentions were not. She eventually admitted that to me directly, and she was quite blatant in this regard. Maybe her illness has made her irritable and scornful, but that is how it was. Right now, I feel strangely calm. It is not unexpected, but I am still unable to process that a man can leave a relationship of a decade with 2 kids. We dated for 4 years, have been married for 5, and have 2 twins who are 3 years old. Like this, with zero visible regret. My parents are with me, helping me stay steady for my twin boys who just turned 3. They are too young to understand what is happening, but they keep me grounded. After everything came to light, my husband admitted that she was the one who ended their relationship years ago because she thought he lacked drive and stability. He never really got over her.
There we go.
Yeah.
She's the ex.
She is the ex.
Dang it.
Seeing her again, fragile, vulnerable, and remorseful, reopened old feelings he had never dealt with. And in my mind, I was like, knucklehead, you could have admitted it from day one instead of gaslighting me. But I guess I was just speechless there. I actually met her by coincidence 3 days ago. My husband had been visiting the hospital frequently, and one afternoon he forgot his insurance file, which also contained some of our joint investment papers. Since I was disentangling things from him in the background while waiting for my parents to come and give my marriage a last chance, I had gone to collect it from the administrative office at the dialysis unit. The dialysis unit was tucked in a quieter wing, separated from the main outpatient block. Outside the renal chamber, the waiting area was attached. I was standing there waiting for the administrative officer to bring out the insurance file when she appeared with a nurse. She recognized me right away. And before I could even introduce myself, she told the nurse to give us room for a moment. The nurse was hesitant to leave an immunocompromised person, but she insisted on a couple of minutes of privacy. Then she asked me, "You are husband's name, wife, right?" I swear to God, I had not met this woman once, so I don't know how she recognized me in a glance. I said, "Yeah," and she asked me to sit down for a moment. Then she said, "I was planning to bring this up gradually to you, but it's better we met here. I guess today or tomorrow you have to know this. There ain't any use beating around the bush. There isn't any use going around the bush, so I will come straight to the point. I know you probably think I'm intruding, but I never stopped loving him." I was like, what the actual F? No way this is real. In reality, she was married to another man for a while who I guess passed in some accident.
Oh.
So it is not like she was some cinematic protagonist spending her life singly pining for my knucklehead of a husband, as she was sounding. I was the one who ended things, and I regret it deeply. I just want to be with him again, even if it's only for whatever time I have left. That was the affair
Her
partner
talking,
again?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the ex talking again.
There you go.
I swear to Almighty, sitting above I swear to Almighty, sitting above 7 heavens, I am not exaggerating a single word. Though these were her exact words. I left the file counter without saying anything. In the side corridor near the elevator lobby, I would have burst into violent sobs had nurses and other people not been moving there too. When I got home and told my husband what had happened, he did not deny it. He said he could not help how he felt and that being around her made him realize he still loved her. At this point, I did not think I had anything else to say. I am now a single mother of twin boys, and honestly, I am fine. I earn much more than my husband, and the house we live in is entirely my property. The apartment is in the Southern Academic District, not far from the old university campus where I teach. It is a 3-bedroom flat on the 4th floor of a quiet residential block. I bought it 7 years ago when I was promoted to associate professor, using my savings and part of a research grant I had received for curriculum development. When this all came to light, I asked him to leave, and he did. It was not a dramatic fight. I told him calmly that if his heart was to go with her, that is where he should go. There is no legal obstacle in it. He had contributed little to the mortgage or maintenance, and the property was always mine. He did try to bring up that we are intertwined on other financial fronts. And honestly, even if it is partial entanglement, what complicates things now are the shared investments and educational funds we set up for our twin boys. By the way, you know what's never complicated?
What?
The fact that you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, whatever your favorite podcast app is, and search up OK Storytime. There's a whole bunch of episodes there.
Oh, yeah.
Days, weeks, months.
Yeah, totally.
We have a little bit left. Wow.
Yeah.
OP's got such better radar than I would have ever had.
For real.
So
for
good.
real. Like, I mean, I guess I still probably would have gone without the, like, just name calling and stuff. Or,
Yeah.
I guess, titles being thrown out there of, like, emotional affair.
Yeah.
But, I mean, oh, she was right.
Yeah. Sure, certainly also would have been on my guard, but she was way more ready for this.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, too, if, like, other things were just already going wrong in the
Yeah.
marriage, that she
I'm
was like,
curious.
yeah.
Yeah, because she, like, wait, what was I gonna say? I don't know. You're just a poor victim caught in the middle of all of this
Yeah.
drama here. You're just like that other woman in a rom-com.
Classic rom-com
Unfortunately.
wife.
Yeah.
So sad.
So sad.
We have a little bit left. We have a joint mutual fund account, a children's saving bond, and a small commercial investment in a co-working space near the railway junction. The co-working space investment is another area of dispute. Although the capital came from me, the business registration lists both our names for tax convenience, which was his idea only. Now he is attempting to claim half the profits from the current lease cycle. My lawyer has filed for a forensic accounting review to prove the monetary trail originates from my personal savings. This is looking exhausting in theory only, and there are a few more entanglements that will be too much to type, and not to forget the legal There are a few more entanglements that will be too much to type, and not to forget the legal proceedings of divorce, which we have not started yet, and not to forget custody stuff. And that is the end of that story.
Wow.
Wow.
The only thing I would look out for is, like, if the ex, like, does pass away from this, like, is he gonna just come right back to OP?
I feel like fully he just wanted to keep OP around until the ex passed, and then he would go, like, right back to her like nothing happened.
Honestly, I think that's very possible.
I feel like that's where he wanted it to go.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know, like, how that is if there is someone like that where it's like the ex, like, I don't have one of those, so it's like I don't know how that would be if you just, like, really
Right?
do have these feelings, like,
They're just, like, sitting there the whole time?
yeah, like, to give him just to play devil's advocate, I guess,
Yeah.
like, would he just kind of have to realize the feelings, work through them, and then move on, or be very honest up front about them with the wife of being like, yo, I didn't know I had these feelings. I don't
Yeah.
want them. I love you, hopefully. But then still, it's like,
It's too rough.
I feel like it would be tough to have a situation where it's like, I'll let you relive these emotions and this love while she's still here, but
Ay.
it's not going to be very long. Like, that's such
No,
a strange
That's
situation.
hard.
Yeah.
But I say good on you. You've got it, everything rolling how it should be
Yeah,
now.
Taking care of business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the end of that story.
Mhm.
And we got another one.
We sure do. My husband demanded that I forget my late husband, so I decided to leave.
Yeah, good for you.
My 35 female first husband, John, passed away very suddenly 6 years ago. We were together for 8 years and happily married for 4. We never had children. 3 years after he passed away, I met my current husband, Ned, and we hit it off immediately. By the way, this comes from throwaway 9562357, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit, and I'm Angie.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily. We don't have all the answers, we just know what we would do in this situation, so let us know what you would do in the comments. So, OP says, we got married last year, and everything has been great. We got married last year, and everything has been great, save for one recurring argument. Ned hates that I still have sentimental items from my first marriage. I've tried to be sensitive to his feelings because I don't want him to think that I just settled for him because John passed away. I don't want to make him feel like I want him to compete or that I'm measuring his worth using John as a yardstick. Ever since the first time he expressed his discomfort with this, I do not bring John up around him. And I keep the things out of sight. I keep my wedding photos, other photos, wedding tape, home videos, gifts from John, and his old record collection in 2 large chests in the basement. The rest of his things I gave away to his brother and nephews. I have looked at them maybe thrice in the last 2 years, and usually at his family's requests. I don't want to throw them out or give them away because they signify an important part of my life, even if I'm in love with another man now. I'm still very close with John's family. Every year on John's birthday, we have a family reunion where we remember him. We eat, drink, tell funny stories, laugh at his most unflattering photos, watch home videos, including mine, play his favorite songs, and generally have a good time. It hasn't been a sad affair for at least 3 years now. That's really nice.
Yeah, I love that.
That's so nice.
I hate that your husband has you like lock this stuff away in a chest in the basement.
Yeah, I definitely don't like that. John's family is very welcoming and have expressed interest in meeting Ned. He declined because he felt uncomfortable. I understand why, but they are also my family. He doesn't want to attend family events like the reunion, birthdays, or weddings, and I never force him, even though it does hurt my feelings that he wants to shut out my whole family. Yesterday, he found some old books of John's that I had forgotten to remove from our library and accused me of leaving them there to spite him instead of putting them in the basement, so that I don't love him and that he knows that I wish John were still alive.
Well, obviously no one wishes that John was dead, but obviously I'm sure no one wishes that John was passed.
Right.
But I'm sure she still loves you.
Yeah, you can love multiple people.
And it's also like, yeah, sure, maybe she would like to have not gone through all of that grief and still have her husband.
Exactly.
But she has you, and she loves you, and she married you.
Yes, and the fact that you're blowing up over 2 books that were forgotten.
Ridiculous.
In a library where it's like you probably got a whole bunch of books.
The fact that you make her like shun her first marriage and stuff. Like she can't have stuff he gave her as gifts.
Yes, exactly. That's insane. I told him that I do love him and that he was being unfair because I can't very well say I'm glad he's passed away. He told me that if I want to prove that I love him, I should throw out all my mementos because John and I... Mementos? Okay. I should throw out all my mementos because John and I never had kids to pass them on to, and that I can go to family things except the birthday celebration.
What?
This is so not okay.
No. Immediate sorry going still.
Yeah.
Prove your love to me. Let me go to this simple thing. Like, talk to my family at all.
Yes, absolutely. And like, even those are ridiculous things to have to prove your love. But the fact that you're asking her to prove her love at all is insane.
Right. Like, dude, go to therapy.
Go to therapy. I have tried to explain that I can't simply forget 8 years of my life and that it's unfair for him to expect me to say that I'm glad that I was widowed, but he refuses to speak to me until I do what he wants.
Oh my God.
I'm extremely hurt and I feel like I'm not being unreasonable, but now I'm wondering if maybe I am the a-hole. He wants me to throw out all the items, but I don't. Am I the a-hole? And there are some comments.
Oh my God, no, you're not the a-hole.
Yeah,
Do
no.
not throw out anything. Don't throw out anything except for your husband.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Throw out your current husband.
Throw out your current husband.
Yeah, I think like
Take all the records out of the basement.
exactly. Like you definitely should not get rid of all of this stuff. It's so different than like a
No.
divorce or something.
Yeah.
This is not something that you wanted, an ending you did
Right.
not want to have. No one chose it.
But just because it ended that way does not mean that she couldn't get past it and move on and love you.
Yeah, exactly. I think, if this was a recurring fight, hopefully this is like the moment that like the straw that broke the camel's back and you just
Get him out of there.
can see that this is just a not good guy.
Ugh.
Okay. But we do have some comments. Deleted says DIVORC. E. Wait. The C and the E, I was like, that's one letter.
Yeah.
Deleted says DIVORCE. That sounds like a cheer.
What does that spell?
Divorce! He is being manipulative, bordering on gaslighting, if I have the term right. Run. This is so beyond wrong. Not the a-hole. Giant not the a-hole. OP says, I can understand how this all screams red flags, and it will probably make me sound super naive if I try to defend this behavior by emphasizing his gentler traits, so I won't. I just want to try to fix it first is all. I'll definitely have to ask myself if I'm okay with giving in for his sake or consider divorce if he refuses to compromise or go to couples therapy. I hope this doesn't make me come across as weak because I just want to give us a fair shot at being happy together. Thank you for your perspective nonetheless. Cyprinade? Another commenter says, not the a-hole. Oh, for F's sake, I'm in Ned's position. My wife was married before. Her husband passed away. 4 years later, I met her. 2 years after that, we were married. Some guy my age is no longer in the world, and that's how I got to be married. For me to be jealous of a passed away guy would be pathetic as well as pointless. It's not like he's competing with me for her affection. Ned is a pee-pee head. And
Yeah.
OP says, thank you so much for this. I was genuinely beginning to feel like there was something that I wasn't getting, and I'm so tired of explaining the same thing over and over again. I've told him the exact thing that I'm not comparing them. I've told him that exact thing that I'm not comparing them or making him compete with a passed away man, and I don't know how else to explain this to him. Flo Prag says, not the a-hole. Please do not give in into his demands and throw away your memories. You'll regret it immensely. Opie says, I'm so sure I'll regret it if I do. I'm now thinking maybe taking the chests down to John's parents' house and storing them there. I know they would be willing to take care of them for me. I just don't want to look like a pushover if I've not done anything wrong, and I'm starting to feel like I'm the only one making compromises.
'Cause you are.
You definitely are, and we do have an update from the next
Oh my
day.
God. Get
yeah.
rid of this man.
Totally. I mean, it's such a controlling move for him to pull.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that, like, if this was something that was your choice of, like, okay, this is how I'm going to move on. I'm gonna
Right.
throw away this stuff. I'm going to distance myself from those family
Right.
events.
Sure.
Sure. But you, like, having to explain to John's family of being like, no, I can't do this because my husband doesn't want me to.
Like being forced.
You're being forced.
Ridiculous.
It's absolutely not your choice. And then someday, if Ned decides to leave you for some reason, then you're gonna be left with this mess that he's made.
Right. Get rid of Ned.
But we do have an update the next day. I never thought he would try to tamper with my things, but I also didn't think he would ever behave like this when I married him. I would like to clear up a few things first. I've had a few hostile comments and DMs saying that I've been trying to make him uncomfortable by asking him to family things, forcing my idea of normal on Ned, and even, quote, forced him to be in a polyamorous relationship with a ghost.
Okay.
All right.
Shut up, commenters.
Like, there's so much that you don't understand about ghosts and polyamory.
Yeah.
I don't see how, because I changed my name. I go out of my way to not mention or do anything related to John, save for the one day a year when we have the reunion. I even used to celebrate mine and John's anniversaries and wore his ring, but I stopped doing that before Ned and I met. I don't even mention the traditions we had out of respect. I do miss him sometimes, but I'm not pining and I don't verbalize it except to my therapist. Therapy helped me immensely here, and I'm working my hardest. I didn't try to make Ned come to the birthday reunions with me. I only suggested the reunion after he accused me of spending it pining for John. I wanted him to see that that's not true. I did ask him to come to John's brother's wedding with me and my nephew's birthday, and he said no both times, citing the same reasons. My therapist helped me frame some points to tell Ned that we needed couples therapy. John's brother, Tom, came over and helped me move my stuff so we could take them to his parents' storage tomorrow. Ned finally came out of the den and lost his mind when I told him that therapy is non-negotiable. Ned finally came out of the den and lost his mind when I told him that therapy is non-negotiable. He tried to stop us from moving the stuff a few times, accused me of violating his trust by asking for help, and that Tom and my relationship is inappropriate because we're not related anymore. He claims he asked me to get rid of the stuff in the chests, but the actual chests belong to us both, and that I have no right to take them away. That I am being manipulative by not trusting him with my stuff. What? You literally said to get rid of that. That is so insane. If
this man tampers with any of this stuff, we ride at dawn.
Absolutely.
We don't even wait till dawn.
I'm
Dawn's too
now.
late.
We're
We're getting on our horses now.
The rest of this story is just going to be empty seats because we're going to be on our way to Ned.
Yeah.
He didn't give me an answer regarding therapy. Honestly, I just let Tom do most of the shielding at that point because I'm tired of repeating the same thing, and I felt so spent that I just couldn't find it in me to shout over him to be heard. I was able to get some things together, and now I am currently at Tom's. I'm so grateful to him and his wife for breaking quarantine for me. Now I am just trying to manage my anxiety, at least until I can talk to my therapist again. I know everyone wants me to say that I'm definitely going to divorce him, but I need a moment to collect and process. I promise I'm thinking about how to take care of myself and keeping the separation and divorce in mind. I went from being giddy with love to being frustrated but hopeful this morning to considering divorce in the evening. He's blowing up all our phones now, but I'm very tired and I just want to sleep. And there is a second update, but oh my gosh. Totally understandable that you just need space and you're still considering divorce, but you just need to reflect on everything. That's so understandable. But yeah, hopefully this really just puts him in a new light and shows you that, his accusing you of being manipulative is crazy because you literally didn't, even if someone was even if what Ned is saying is true and is no, I just wanted you to get rid of the stuff, those chests mean something to me, I want those chests, something like that, then OP getting rid of the things, or OP just bringing the whole chests away is in no way manipulative. There's no way you can spin that. Someone getting rid of a chest of stuff is not manipulative at all, ever.
I'm also just it's it's terrible if she keeps it there. It's terrible if she gets rid of it.
Yeah.
What do you want her to do?
Yeah, it's such a you have so many, you're moving the goalposts with how you want her to handle this.
Right.
And
she's already gotten rid of everything that she has of his.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let it go to therapy, dude. I agree.
Honestly,
non-negotiable.
Yeah, you're bringing up these rules of how she has to deal with this, and that is absolutely not okay. You're just accusing her, just giving her demands, and you're not telling her hey, how do you feel about this?
Yeah.
Because she's told you, and you're clearly not listening. But we do have a second update. A few people have contacted me to let me know that my post is being shared on social media and that a relationship website has written a story on it. I am a little disappointed, but honestly, it's not the worst thing to happen these past few days. Awkward. Our bad, OP. I'm mentally preparing for the possibility that it will get back to Ned and likely cause more tension. Just updating to let everyone know that I'm aware. And we do have a third update. I want to write this down at least to hold me accountable to my decision. I spoke to Ned a few hours ago for the first time since I left the house. He was angry and lashing out. He was very angry and lashing out. Initially, I planned on having a face-to-face, Initially, I planned on having a face-to-face, but give the content of his messages to myself and my family when I left. I chose to do Initially, I planned on having a face-to-face, but given the content of his messages to myself and my family when I left, I chose to do so over Zoom. I didn't want to ask anyone else to chaperone because I'm honestly still embarrassed by the events earlier this week. There was a lot of alternation. Okay.
Like, there's a lot of alternating.
Yeah, okay. There was a lot of alternation between crying, yelling, and begging, and somehow he eventually agreed to try marriage counseling and individual therapy. I explained to him that I don't ever expect him to spend time with my family if he doesn't want to, but would he be willing to accept that they are my family, even if we share no blood or existing relationship by marriage? I explained that I have known them since I was barely 18, before there was even a John and I, and that they have been my people for a decade, and that they have been my people for a decade and a half. I explained that I would happily try to foster the same relationship as his siblings, I explained that I would happily try to foster the same relationship with his siblings were he to ever get back on speaking terms with them. And by the way, I hope you always stay on speaking terms with us and listen to full episodes with stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever favorite podcast app you choose. Just search OK Storytime.
Yeah.
And there is a little bit more to the story, but I'm really hopeful that this is heading towards divorce.
Yeah. I am glad that marriage counseling was mentioned.
Yes.
I don't see it working. If he's so against therapy to begin with.
Yeah.
And hey, I'll stay slightly hopeful for you, but I don't like your current husband.
I don't like him at all. I won't stay hopeful for you and your
Yeah,
marriage.
you know what? I've changed my mind. You're still riding at dawn.
Absolutely. I think the fact that when you initially brought up therapy and said it was non-negotiable, he like blew up.
Right.
And then now, after so much back and forth of crying and anger and stuff, now he's finally agreeing to it. Like,
right.
He just
Why does it have to get there?
Yeah, he's definitely just doing that to like get you to stop or get you to stay or something, and
100%.
He's not gonna keep with it at all.
Yeah, you know what? Divorce him.
Divorce him.
Divorce.
Just do it. He's revealing himself to be a bad person. But there is a little bit more to the story. This he refused to budge on. He said he will never be okay with my relationship with my family, and that he will not refer to them as such because what I was apparently describing was close friendships. I won't bore you with other details because after that answer, I don't know who or what I'm even fighting to hold on to. I'm slowly accepting the fact that I will be putting away more wedding photos soon. I can't believe it hasn't even been a year.
Either way, divorce this man. I think that putting away these wedding photos is going to prove much easier, especially because I think you should take your first husband's photos back out. Take out the things that he gave to you. Start listening to the records. Take things out of those boxes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you know what you need to do. I was really scared by that one sentence that was like, I'm afraid that I'm putting away more wedding photos soon.
Yeah.
I hope that means of like your wedding photos with Ned.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that'll be way easier.
Yeah, hopefully. Like, I hope that doesn't mean that she's gonna give in and like put her other photos away, but I guess those are already away. So
yeah,
I think it will mean what I want it to mean. But
fingers crossed.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how long you were dating before getting married. I don't think it said that, but like, takes a few years to like really know who someone is, and even after that, they still might reveal themselves to you. And this is just that situation.
Yikes.
Yeah, absolutely. But I really hope you get divorced. I'm sure you're on that track, so I'm happy for you in that sense. But that's the end of that story. We've got another one coming right up.
My marriage spiraled in under a year, and now I'm leaving my husband.
Maybe that's what needs to happen.
And we do have a trigger warning for substance use and booze. I, 26 female, have been married to my husband, 31 male, for less than 6 months. We dated for over 5 years before that. I met him during college, which I attended in a different state, about 12 hours from my family. By the way, this comes from Time Animator 7277. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Angie.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I have a couple of extremely toxic family members, but the rest of them I am very close to. And it has been hard being away from them for the almost 10 years since I left for college. In the years I have been away from home, I have not really made any friends. So I have no support system outside of my husband and his family and friends. A few months ago, we agreed to move in with my husband's parents to save up for a home and also to assist with his mother's health condition. She had a massive surgery and has had trouble in the past following doctor's orders. I have been helping with everything from chores and cooking to medication management and appointments. We plan to stay for about a year and then purchase a home nearby. Living with my husband and his family has brought to light some serious communication issues within the family. My husband has no real boundaries when it comes to his family, and it has become clear why he has not been able to achieve any of his goals, mainly home ownership and children, since he is constantly providing logistical and financial support to his parents and adult brother, who struggles with regular use and is constantly enabled by his family. I will give one example. His parents failed to communicate until about 2 weeks before his mother would lose her insurance through her employer because she has yet to return to work. My husband intends to pay for her insurance indefinitely, along with the expenses of her care. He also got upset when I expressed confusion and essentially dared me to voice a problem with this. And he has accused me of not prioritizing his family in the past. So the conversation is over before it starts. I have felt unappreciated, but I did not really complain until I discovered that my husband may have cheated on me.
Whoa, huh?
Took a turn.
Yeah, it did.
I am not sure of the extent. I found some messages, and he admitted to paying for phone spicy sleep.
What?
And I have a bad feeling, but it is about all the evidence I have. Each of these incidents was when he was really wasted. He will not confirm or deny anything in a believable way. He shuts down and gets defensive whenever I try to talk to him. So that kind of gives me my answer. I still feel paranoid and crazy all the time. This made me realize that I would like a stronger support system in order to continue this relationship. I asked if we could move halfway between our families to make the trip to see my family easier on me. To be clear, I gave a timeline of a year or so we could make proper arrangements regarding our jobs, living situation, and of course, his family. He says no because his family needs him, and he is unwilling to quit his job. He has a good job, and he has worked really hard for the position he's in. I also asked if we could attend couples counseling, but he said no because he does not trust therapists. We have had this conversation multiple times, with essentially the same outcome. I do not consider myself to be a stupid person, and I can usually recognize red flags, but clearly not, since this is not who I thought I married. I always thought I could trust my husband, and he would respect my needs, but I am realizing he may not care about me as much as I care about him. He says that he is working on a plan and that he is committed to us staying together, but it does not seem that way. I am looking for jobs near my family, but my finances and everything I owe are wrapped up with this person. And every conversation we have had is unproductive at best and toxic at worst. I have told him more than once that I am thinking about moving by myself since I really need to be close to my family, and he freaks out every time. I am terrified that if I keep pushing, he is going to freak out and I will be homeless without a plan. I know his parents are going to lose it when they find out as well. It is also really hard to apply for jobs because it means that I am giving up on my marriage that I have been super committed to. How do I get him to, at the very least, let me go if he will not compromise, instead of insisting that we will work out and then ignoring the problem? And do I wait for the year to see if things get better or leave as soon as possible? Any advice is appreciated. This has been really hard on me. And we have an edit, but it's kind of long. So
Yeah, we could do that later.
yeah.
I feel like a year is a long time to see things through.
Yeah.
know?
I feel like if you genuinely can't even voice your opinions anymore,
Yeah.
it seems like as soon as you guys got married, everything just like changed. Like he was like,
Yeah.
I have her now. Like I'm married to her.
Like got her locked in.
Right.
Yeah, I think if you can't voice your opinions, then the relationship is just kind of over.
Right.
Like that's like, what are you, a prisoner? Like
Right.
you can't.
You
That's-
can't have any thoughts.
Yeah, like huh? No.
It's a little weird to me.
I think, maybe see it through for like a couple months or something if you really want to. If you want things to change, but like it's not gonna
Yeah.
take a year for things to change that much. Like that's
I don't
these are
think
big
so.
issues.
Very, very big ones.
Yeah.
We have an edit. I just wanted to clear some things up that I may have misconstructed or overlooked. I just wanted to clear some things up that I may have misconstrued or overlooked. Our finances are separate except for a few bills. I have a job, I make decent money, and I have savings, a couple thousand, but it is a start. He does what he wants with his money. I do what I want with mine. I do not really care what he does with his money, but when our plan was to save money and move, then I see him giving large amounts to his parents. I get confused why there's no communication. I know I can leave. For a lot of reasons, I do not want to move in with family unless it is an absolute emergency. I would prefer to get a job and an apartment near them, which will take time, at least a few months. I am planning and trying to work up the nerves to leave. I guess my main concern is that he will not address any of these problems. He thinks we are fine, and if I suggest divorce, it is going to be messy, I fear. He thinks our issues are still that she lost trust and she misses her family. I live in a crazy world where we only have problems because I complain. I am trying to confirm if I am doing the right thing and how I can lessen the blow for when the inevitable happens. And he makes this really hard by saying I left him and blindsided him and essentially throws a tantrum until the bitter end. My father-in-law retired a few months ago. He retired early. I do not know why. No one communicates and in my opinion does not hold weight. I know it seems lazy that I am lacking context, but I am just as confused as you are. I'm sorry I did not see any signs before. I was fine with this lifestyle and did not complain until I found out about the possible cheating. That changed my perception. I am also extremely careful about not getting pregnant. We are barely having any spicy sleep anyway after the cheating. We have an update.
Ooh.
I did see the beginning of that
I saw
update.
it too.
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I think I'm blanking now on what I was gonna say. If you have your thoughts,
Okay.
go first.
My only suggestion was gonna be, if you were gonna stay those months, to find the apartment
Mhm.
before you tell him about the divorce. Because then if
Yes.
you need to get out, you can just
Absolutely.
go.
Totally. I think that's great advice. I think if you're in a relationship where everything just gets blamed on you for complaining about things, it's like, okay, well, like it's not just that I'm complaining about things, it's that you're doing bad things and
Right.
you're giving me things to complain about.
Right.
So like this is one of those situations, and honestly, like yeah, if that's what the dynamic has been, you're probably going to get blamed. He's probably going to think, oh, she did this, she did that.
Yeah.
But that's just, you can't stop that.
Yeah.
You
It's
just
like
have to deal with
whatever.
it.
You know that it's not like that.
Yeah.
He will think and say what he's gonna.
Exactly. So you just kind of let that just roll off your back.
As
Let
best you
him
can.
accuse you,
Yeah.
and then just leave. Get out of
People
there.
will realize as they hear things, even from him. I'm sure him even telling some of this stuff, they'll
Yeah.
still be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And it's also like, well, if you know that this man, and you've decided that this man is bad and he has
Yeah.
not treated you well, not someone that you should spend your time with, then who cares what he thinks about you,
Who
because you think very
cares?
poorly of him too.
Yeah.
So his opinion should hold no weight.
Yeah.
No, easier said than done, but
Yeah. Update. I am leaving.
Woohoo!
I was still a little in denial when I first posted, and I'm still doubting myself a lot. But I found the Graham DMs with him messaging a girl on there. flirting and exchanging pictures. I also found messages of him buying substances on numerous occasions.
Wow.
He has also been
I think you
this
can
did
say
not
drink.
get censored. Okay. He has also been binge drinking a lot. I found condoms when we first
Well,
moved
I
in.
don't think we can say
I
condoms,
fa-
though. Unfortunately.
I found wiener wrappers.
Yeah.
I found wiener wrappers when we first moved in. We do not use them. And he spent over an hour in VIP with a spicy dancer
Oh my gosh.
and danced around, telling me what he did with her.
Danced around.
Okay, that's just the end of that.
Yeah.
And danced around, telling me what he did with her. Still no direct answer other than nothing. I have a consultation with an attorney this week to see about the annulment. I have a consultation with an attorney this week to see about an annulment. I am not sure if I will be eligible based on the rules in my state, but I am going to try to go for the quickest option. I have stopped trying to fix the relationship. I asked a few times about the couples counseling again. He still says no. He said that he was trying to make it work between us by finding a way to move. I told him he will not do it, so just drop the subject and get over it. Oh, okay, I see. I told him that he will not do it, so just drop the subject and I will get over it. He acknowledged that I will not be happy if we do not move, but he has been a little nicer to me since. He also promised to drink less, and he has not been binge drinking as much. I think he feels that this is adequate to fix the relationship. By the way, I would think it would be adequate.
Yeah.
By the way, I think it would be adequate if you guys listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime. There's just a little bit left. Final thoughts, Angie.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Glad we're
getting out.
leaving.
Woo!
You found all of these reasons. It's building up. It's finally giving that push. And I'm so happy
Oh my
for
God,
you.
he cheated so much.
So much.
Gross.
Yeah.
A little bit left. Otherwise, we do not talk much at all. I just try to focus on myself. His parents seem to be on to me. I am trying my best to pretend like everything is okay, even though I am doing a worse job lately. I am applying for jobs and should be ready to move in. With family back home in a month or so. I plan to have family come down and help me load up and then tell him when I am ready to go. If anyone has any advice on how I can have this conversation with him, that is what I am most scared of, since he has downplayed everything and will continue to do so. This is so hard, and I feel so isolated, but I feel like I am making the right choice, and that is the end of that story.
You are making the right choice. I'm
You
so proud of
are.
you. You may be isolated, and it is hard, I'm sure, but you're doing
on the
it.
way out.
It's a necessary evil. You have to get from this more evil man.
Yes.
Must get away.
You're doing great, though.
You really are.
Yeah. You'll have that support system come down, and you'll be out before you know it.
Exactly. You'll get
You've
through
got
it.
this.
I feel this for you. I'm proud of you.
So proud. But that's the end of that story and the end of this episode.
Yep.
So if you love us, make sure you subscribe.
We love you
And see you tomorrow.